Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode. I am Michael Petrow, and joining me on the show this week, you've got debaters Jimmy Skinner, Charles Fernandes, and Martin Navarro as we sit down to ask one question. Citizen Kane or Paddington 2? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first free-for-all debate, where we throw away our times, we throw away our formal presentation, so to speak, and we just go and have at her. And considering last year, you may have heard about this, you may have not. No harm, no foul if you haven't. But Citizen Kane is regarded as the best movie ever made. Cinematically, script-wise, writing, rearranging the timeline of the film to have a brief synopsis of what has happened to Charles Foster Kane. And then we go back through time and we learn about who he was when he was younger, then his middle ages, and then just before he died. And what the fuck does Rosebud mean? That was regarded as the best film ever. Doug Morrow, Manitoba makeup artist, you are 100% right. I am dedicating this episode to you because you told me if you haven't seen Citizen Kane in your elder years, which I hadn't, it's one of those things your grandmother makes you watch, I should get back up on it. So this was that time. So Doug, you were 100% right, Stir. What the fuck? What a film. Anyways, last year, a review was dug up from the 40s that knocked Citizen Kane out of the 100 Club on Rotten Tomatoes. So it had 100% fresh rating. And this review, which called it like a spectacle or something, knocked it out of contention for being in the 100 Club. And guess what took it over? Paddington motherfucking 2. I love that bear. I love me some orange marmalade. I even love that President Zelensky in Ukraine did the voiceover work for Paddington 2 in Ukraine. I love all these things, but I still didn't think it was the best movie. So we all thought, let's have a free-for-all and figure it out. So you have me and Charles on Team Foster Kane. And then you've got Jimmy and Martin on Team Paddington 2. And we tried to have a formal discussion. It went off the rails, as things do here. So that's what you're going to listen to. You're going to listen to, what do we think? Do we think Paddington's better? Do we think Citizen Kane is better? We try to use some actual merits in film, but really, it's just a bunch of dickheads laughing around. So that's what's on the show. That's who's on the show. We've got an announcement for you. If you haven't been following us on social media, we are doing a live event live from the Handsome Daughter in Winnipeg, Manitoba, May 14th, 8 p.m. Doors open. Actually, 7 p.m. doors open. 8 p.m. show goes live. We are debating for you with a full cast. Even Martin might pop in as the big head on the big screen. We're going to debate for you a classic here. One of the first debates where we kind of found our feet, which is what restaurant or what movie or series should have its own themed restaurant, right? You walk in, boom, it's Ghostbusters. You walk in, boom, it's The Lion King. How do you format it? Who's cooking? What kind of food is it? What's the motif? Is it a three-course meal? Is it fast food? What are you doing? So all 7 of us are going to be there with, like I said, probably Martin on the big screen. Tickets are only $10. We want to see if we can do these live for you on an ongoing basis. We're the Handsome Daughter is letting us try out our bullshit there on their stage. So please come. Follow us online. That's May 14th. The Handsome Daughter. Doors open at 7. Show goes on at 8. It's going to be like a 2-hour show with an intermission in between. The best part is you can be on the show. It's a live recording. We're going to put a mic in the audience. Dumb idea that is, but we're going to put one out there. And if you want to argue back, if you have a question, that microphone is there for you. So that's what's coming up. I got nothing else for you. We hope you enjoy Paddington 2 versus Citizen Kane. I will cue the reel, and you enjoy the show.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everybody, to the official space section of the chart.
What's the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order. I show you out of order.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Real Debaters production. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to where we ask everybody's favorite question: what happens when real life meets real life? I am Michael Petrow.
I'm Charles Fernandes.
I'm Jimmy.
No impression this week?
No.
No.
I was gonna do like a weatherman, and it's too nice out.
It's so fucking nice out, isn't it?
Welcome, yeah, Martin.
And
Cut
in
back
Vancouver?
to one.
It's nice here.
How nice
It's
is it?
like it's +9 and sunny in the ocean side
It's
today.
just like a
People
bright-
are at the beach right now.
It looks like a
Oceanside.
bright white tunnel behind you. It looks like you're about to slip into heaven, and we're trying to tell you.
I
not to.
might. Heaven's getting a new angel, fellas. His name is Martin Navarro.
Don't go into the light.
But I am not Martin Navarro. I am Smoking Bob's Hot Dogs. Shout out to Smoking Bob. One thing I miss about Winnipeg, Smoking Bob's out of the corner of Maine, Portage and Maine.
I was just going to ask you, if Smokin' Bob's had moved out west, because I haven't heard anybody talk about. I haven't heard Smokin' Bob's since me and you had a Smokin' Bob's outside of the Pal the last time we were there.
Yeah.
Probably because of the pandemic, Michael.
No,
I
well,
don't think people are out in downtown.
For-
So I think Smokin' Bob's took a
I
hiatus.
have no idea what you
But
guys.
Okay.
yeah, I love
Me
Smokin'
either.
Bob's.
So for listener, here we'll get a little personal with you for a second. Me and Martin go way back to a time where we worked at a restaurant called Don Pedro's.
Oh yeah.
But it was originally
I know
called
Don Pedro's.
the Pink Taco.
Okay.
And
Okay.
me and Martin can tell you stories of, anybody from any part of the world going, what's a pink taco? And then being stuck at the table having to explain why we've called our restaurant the Pink Taco.
Right.
Right.
And then always following it up with some sort of cheesy, like it's way
It's
better
because our
than-
owner loved cocaine. That's
Oh,
what I said all
that's
the
yes,
time.
okay. There we go.
Loves
Yeah.
cocaine in Las Vegas. That's what our owner did.
He denounced his citizenship
Thought it
as
was
a
a-
Canadian to move to Vegas.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought it was a gay bar when you said Pink Taco.
No.
Okay.
Very much Mexican, right? And there's one in Vegas too. There's Pink Taco in Vegas
Oh,
as well.
that's great.
But we worked there together, and we used to make party all the time. Fuck, root beer
Wow.
before a show is such a bad idea. Sorry, listener.
What happened to the Diet Dr. Pepper?
Shauna stacked up the cooler with non-diet drinks because it's.
I
us.
got a diet grapefruit. I'm loving
Oh,
it.
really? There's diet in there?
Oh,
Fuck.
it's fun.
See
It's
that.
a party, guys.
All right. Well, it's awesome. Yeah. It's a
Sorry,
party.
Martin.
But anyways, yeah, me and Martin go way back when we used to party, and Smokin' Bob's is a hot dog vendor that, like, the amount of times that we partied, we were on a first name basis with Bob. Like Bob would see us, and Bob.
Oh, but
would
he's
just,
like street meat.
yeah, street meat guy.
Oh, my
right?
God,
Smoking
that's
Bob's hot dogs. So like
awesome.
but we'd go like we partied
First name basis.
first name like you'd be like,
But
oh, yeah, here's your street meat.
He goes by Smokin' Bob.
Yeah, no, but like we had candor with Bob. Is
Do you
what I'm
guys call
saying.
him Smokin'?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the
That
guy.
was his first name. Smokin'.
Smoking.
Yeah, actually,
That's
yeah, I
great.
remember asking him for his birth certificate.
Dude, that's actually awesome just because, like, one thing that I miss about, like, my experience with street meat was when I was living in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And
We were
out
like
here-
$2 hot dogs in Toronto.
Oh, yeah,
Damn
man.
right.
It was so good.
What
And
kind of
now-
hot dog is it? A boiled or is it a barbecue?
Oh, no, it's a grill.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Well,
and
no,
it-
because
and
there's
it's one of those big, it's like one of those long, big motherfuckers.
Long, thin wieners.
Yeah, with the, like, huge buns and everything. Like, it was great, man.
Dollar drink.
And it was like
beside
you'd be wasted. It was right there, and it was great. And Martin, you kind of said it, but like down, like the reason why I didn't know Smoking Pops that I haven't had street meat here is our downtown scary. And
Oh, I only have it during the daytime at work.
Oh,
That's when I
yeah.
used to work downtown.
Oh, yeah,
Daytime,
okay.
lunch.
Osborne and
Yeah.
Broadway daytime safe.
I
yeah,
know
totally, go for
There's
it.
that guy who hangs out outside Whiskey Dick's that has the hot dog.
Yes,
cart.
we
Yeah.
knew him too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's Super Steve. That's Super Steve.
Good Smokies.
Smoking Bob and Super Steve.
He used to hook it up for the Empire cover all the time back in the day.
Oh
Free cover,
yeah.
VIP line. Yeah.
It's good stuff. You go there after Wee Johnny's, get a smoky. It's a good walk.
I'm a huge
Good
fan-
smoky too.
It's a good
smoky.
smoky.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
just meat.
Or the guy in front of the St. Boniface Hospital. His hot dogs are pretty good too.
Oh, you're is that flippin' Frank?
No, it's got the W on it.
I know what you're
can't-
talking about. Yeah.
Blue
Win-
cart looks
Winnipeg
like a bomber
Wieners?
logo. I think something like that.
Something
Yeah.
fresh like
It was
that.
good though.
204 street meat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You can't to anybody out there who's ever partied at a bar, like it's your right to stumble out to the street meat cart as drunk as possible
You're
and
gonna fight for your
pull
right
out
to
your
hot dogs.
last toonie and be like, whatever, this will get me.
You will never have a better fucking meal than street meat right when you get out of the bar wasted. That
It's
is
a
the
properly
best
timed event.
meal you will
Yeah.
have while you are drinking.
It's exactly
Easily.
what you need.
It's exactly.
It's how
My
you
favorite
get.
thing about it is when you leave at 2 a.m. and you hook up with a girl who just ate like a fucking smoky, and you can
And you
taste
can
it.
tell.
There, you can taste
Oh,
the
yeah.
smoky. It's like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's nice.
Are we gonna get married?
How about
We
how,
already are.
how about a shameless admission over here where it's like you met at the hot dog cart?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you met in line and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
and then you went to the after party together. Like that's
Oh yeah.
Like mustard and onions too.
right.
We're gonna get
Or like
along
yeah, because you
great.
get those like side little like side olives, and it's like, do you have any more? And then you're like, yeah, do you? And it's like, whoa.
Like I've been the drunk asshole who like thought they were still inside the bar next to the garnish line, and I just start picking out condiments and eating them, and I'm like, I'm not at work anymore. Like I'm a fucking slob.
I used to actually leave the bar early, like 10 minutes early, to get there first.
That's
so
true.
that I could get that.
Were you a chubby child like me?
Yeah.
Get ahead
I
of
still-
everybody. If there's food involved,
I
you're
still
first.
am.
You're on time.
At heart, man, it never goes away.
That's okay. You're in heart. I'm in
Well,
tummy.
I say at heart. It's a denial.
It's all on your hips.
You know what? I think we should have an episode just dedicated. I mean, I think we did it already, but
I want to make a short about Smoking
street
Steve
meat
and
debate would be great. Who's better, Smoking Bob or
Okay,
right?
no.
Super
Steely Dan.
Steve?
We should make street
Post bar food.
Yeah,
post bar food.
Yeah.
post bar food.
Yeah.
What was your like 2 a.m. spot when you left Tijuana's or something like that, or Empire?
Well, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're
What
doing
was
at
your
the
spot?
daughter.
Yeah, well, that's
what we're
exactly
doing at the daughter.
we are. It's got to be included now.
Yeah.
Like we, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we are planning a live event, is what Jimmy's referencing to the daughter, and this is a working target of late April, early May, so we can get everybody in the room. But we are we're thinking about a live recording for Winnipeg people who listen to the show and want to drink and be on a live
chicken.
podcast and eat chicken. And,
great chicken.
and have a good time, and then possibly bring in the big head of Martin the God on the projector behind
That's
us.
He can be our big
It's
giant
called
head.
Nelson Spaghetti.
Love that Silicon Valley shit.
Oh, spaghetti.
Yeah, no, but what Jimmy's talking about is that debate is being workshopped to be. We're gonna redo the restaurant one because we're in a restaurant for the first time.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but now street meat carts could be involved.
Oh yeah.
Not the Ghostbusters.
Not the Ghostbusters. not a place where you pay for
That was
food.
too avant-garde, Mike.
Yeah,
That's too avant-garde.
You know what? Like, you know how your phone brings up shit? I swear I've walked out of here after, and you guys have jibbed me for avant-garde, and then all of a sudden, like, weird art starts showing up in my fucking Facebook feed. I'm like, I didn't say it, so it must be true.
That's great.
Anyways, let's take a trip into the fake world. Let's leave street meat for a second and go into the fucking
Delicious
movies.
street meat.
So 2 things, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do our weekly watch list for you. Like always, it's going to be a little bit more of a condensed version because one thing that's been watched we really can't talk about because it's so fucking fresh.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do, for you, a debate that Jimmy came up with. And like always, we're just like, what do we want to do? Because nobody tells us.
But this is a hardcore debate.
This is a
though.
hardcore one. This
Yeah.
is as long as we've been doing
There
this
is
show.
a right answer.
If blood and teeth have to be left on the floor.
We're getting graded.
Yeah, like there's actually a satellite feed from from David Fincher's live watching this right
Oh yeah,
now.
like we have to show our work and everything.
That's right.
So, what happened in 2021 besides the pandemic? There was a piece of news where I'm sure, unless you're a cinephile like us, you probably didn't give 2 shits. But Citizen Kane is regarded as the best movie ever made.
Was.
What? Oh, it's fucking starting early. And it was part of the 100 Club.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes, and then
You ain't
somebody.
first, you're last.
And it's been like what, since like forever? Like,
Yeah.
since
I'm coming
beginning
in
of
hot.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes is trying. Like, I'm just prefacing here, but Rotten Tomatoes is trying to like dig up all the reviews as possible to be as accurate as possible
To
because
balance
to balance the newer love and
Right.
fandom versus the older reviews. So someone dug up a review on Citizen Kane, which knocked it out of the 100 Club, put it in the 99th percentile. Now, Jimmy,
Just
because
so funny.
if you didn't catch this news
Fucking
article,
garbage, dude.
We haven't even started the debate yet.
it's gonna be
Time for
good.
the actual debate.
Woo! I'm already sweating. So
I'm coming in hot.
So this other movie knocked it out of contention, and
What
Jimmy.
movie is it?
Well, I just want you to. I can't say it. I just watched it before we started. And I can't even mouth it. What movie knocked Citizen Kane out of the #1 spot? Jimmy.
Paddington 2.
Not
the
even the
greatest
first one.
film of all time.
Like,
And it's just called Paddington 2.
Paddington 2.
first question, yeah, and I have it on the list, is why 1 didn't get it before 2? Because 1 is where the idea came from.
Well, not everybody can make a masterpiece their first time. so.
That's true. Yeah.
Not everybody can be a Citizen Kane.
They were succession training because they failed the first time, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
So
If that's all you guys got to argue.
That's it. That was
no.
the big talking point, Martin. It's out of the
I
way.
know,
We
that's
got
all
him.
really what the big talking point
That's
is.
all my material,
That's it.
man.
We're done.
That's
We
all I
don't even have
have.
5 minutes.
Shit. So a lot of things are changing for this debate. One, it's almost like a true like university
Bloodbath.
/ high school debate where it's me and Charles versus Jimmy and Martin. We are drawing a line between the studio. And we are taking sides on this one because normally, if you guys know, you listen to the show, we don't take sides. We just make up fun shit and argue what we love, and
we stay friends.
We stay friends at the end of it. This might
Not this one, though.
might fracture. Half the reason we did it that way is because a lot of us were strangers to each other when we first started
And
the show.
I think a lot of you at home are going to be very angry.
Yeah,
This could be Endgame.
yeah.
Half of us will
And
be
Thanos
deleted.
might win.
He was right.
Someone's getting the snap. Someone's getting the snap. at
No
the end of the
shit,
show.
Martin.
Snap.
Someone's getting
good
the snap.
stuff.
So anyway, so that's what you're in for. So me and Charles have Citizen Kane,
Yeah.
and
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
I just want to say, I
Gold.
think after today's debate, we should be top debaters for life. Like we should get a Hall of Fame. Like we'll be inducted to the Hall of Fame after this debate. For sure.
Well, if this does prove we've got the solo ranking.
Mm-hmm.
We're now introducing team ranking,
The tag team belts.
tag team belts, right?
Shit.
I don't know how to make an intercontinental championship. Like, what is that?
We're the Road Warriors. We're Hawk and
no, I
Animal.
want to be
Martin.
Shawn Michaels. Can I be the
All
sexy
right,
boy?
we're DX.
Oh my god.
Who are we?
Why don't you guys suck it, huh?
This is
We're new
yeah.
generation.
No, I know who. If we're wrestling this,
Yeah.
this is the Nasty Boys over here. Okay,
Oh yeah.
I'm giving you the fucking pit stop halfway through today.
100% Nasty Boys.
God damn it.
Fuck yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go Citizen Kane versus Paddington 2. We're gonna go through characters.
Orson Welles would be so proud.
Right.
You mean jealous?
We're gonna argue what the characters mean to us and how they affect us, what the story is overall, the casting of those people, the acting that was done, and the casting
Right.
of everybody else, director, cinematographer, whatever you wanted to do, and then like as I've said earlier, the zhuzh, the extra, the whatever, how
My
it,
whole thing is zhuzh.
I only do zhuzh.
I only brought the zhuzh. Martin, you got the rest.
No, I got nothing. I got only juice, baby. I only got grape drink.
I just got the OG
Not even
juice.
grape drink. I only got the drink.
Grape drink, baby.
Hope you brought your beef dip.
So, if the audience is thirsty, I got the medicine. I got the drink.
fair enough. So before we get into it, we got to warm up. We got to stretch. You gotta warm up that talking face.
If
Yeah.
you're thirsty, I brought the medicine.
Oh wait, just wait, Jimmy. Just wait. There's more in the bag.
It's like, man, I am thirsty. What is in the medicine cabinet?
I'm thirsty for some health shit.
Buckley's.
Give me some medicine, baby.
All right. Let's get into it with our what did you watch this week? Charles, tell us, what did you, because I know we'll focus on you first because you said it would be quick and we
It's
all know
very
why.
quick. I watched The Batman and I really enjoyed. I had a great time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Talk, bro.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Go see it.
All right, so we're gonna out ourselves. Obviously, this is being recorded a day and a half after Batman has come out, and Jimmy and me are primed to go
Gonna go see
tomorrow
it
afternoon.
About 12 hours.
About 12 hours exactly.
Nice. I'm so excited for you.
This
guys.
is gonna be the hardest preview review because I'm gonna be like, don't spoil anything, you fucking idiot. Like,
I'll be honest, after you see it, it's very easy not to spoil it just because you can just reaffirm it's great.
you
Go
just
see
want
it.
it to be good for
Go
somebody
see
else.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, go see it.
All right, so let's just ask him a couple questions and see how much he can tell us without telling us.
Batman's in it.
All right.
Batman's in the movie.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Question.
yeah,
All right,
he's
so
definitely
Batman's in the movie.
How much Jared Leto Joker is in the movie?
I don't know if I want to ruin that for you guys.
Does he make an appearance?
No, thank God.
See,
no.
now I do know about
No.
that end scene.
Now you're
I've-
ruining
Is there any
I-
nudity?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
we'll start there.
badass?
Great question, actually. Not any. There's no nudity, but you definitely can tell they wouldn't be afraid for it.
Wow.
Like they wouldn't be.
Will
They
I
wouldn't
get an
shy.
erection at any point during this movie?
Whole time.
Today's
Okay.
Blue
so-
Chew
okay.
rock
I'll
hard
have to wear
moment.
my protection.
It's one of the few times in my whole life that I just saw Warner Brothers and was like, "Whoa!" Just seeing that logo at the beginning, I actually got pumped.
Well,
So-
you had like an event ticket, right? Talk
Yeah, it
about
was
that. You
cool.
can talk about that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was. I honestly didn't know what to expect. First of all, nobody showed up. Like Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz didn't show
Oh.
up. Yeah, there were some fan.
I thought you meant nobody was in the theater.
No. It was packed. But I mean, like the New York fan event, it was like they were there.
Yeah.
We didn't get any of that.
Circus
but,
had like a little kilt on his suit. Did you
yeah,
see
he
it?
did. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
I thought that was neat.
So you get there, and what the pre-show was is it's a countdown clock right away in the corner to when it's going to start, which was cool.
Finally.
And it's all artwork.
Why can't that just be the norm?
Yeah, like I think that's
like, what
cool.
the fuck? That's so nice.
It was cool. It was
It's like,
cool.
oh, I can get up and go to the bathroom because it's not going to start in another.
And
5
that's
minutes.
exactly what it was. Like when we
Just
got in the theater
do
and we
that.
saw how much time we really had, it was like, hey,
Well, the
cool.
That's
the
nice.
the shot that you put online,
Yeah.
was like this huge splash.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
was,
they're all in it in some way.
It was
and-
artwork. So what was neat is it kind of tells you before is it's artwork that's only for that experience, and it was behind the scene photos that were only shown.
Goddamn.
I'm sure they're going to release it online at some point, but
Yeah.
for the time being, it was like that was the first time.
That's the job
you were
I
seeing
want.
it.
I want to
So it
make the
was cool.
promo shit for the movie.
Dude, it was cool. It was really cool. Like they had a really cool shot of I guess it was the first screen test of Paul Dano,
Yeah.
like figuring out his suit, and it's just him holding up like kind of tape, but you can see that he's
He actually
like building it, like he's building his thing,
I've
and
heard.
and the photographers like it's a behind the scenes thing, but it's cool. It's
I
very
heard
cool.
he actually just went onto the set of Trailer Park Boys and grabbed the green,
Green bastard.
suit.
Yeah. The first funny meme I saw after they showed Riddler was
Was a
it
green
said
bastard.
copyrighted. It was a green
God damn
bastard.
it.
It was pretty funny, but no, like that was cool. Then they gave you what was neat is they gave you a comic book. So they gave you
Oh.
the first issue of The Long Halloween,
Wow.
but the cover was a special edition drawn. Robert Pattinson as Batman, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as Riddler.
What the
But then when you
fuck?
open it, it's the original print of the issue. So it was very
Ooh,
cool.
that's cool.
My
Yeah, it was
God.
very cool. It was very.
How much was that?
It was a regular ticket, man.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it was a regular ticket. Oh, so what happened was I got an email from Cineplex saying the Batman advance tickets now on sale, and
Yeah.
it said when you scroll down a little bit further down the email, it said fan event, IMAX experience. See if your city is part of this. So then when I hit the link, it took me to the app, and the app already knows I'm in Manitoba, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it automatically brought up Scotiabank at Polo Park, and it was on March 2nd, and I literally kept looking at it because I'm like, that's 2
That can't
days
be real.
before. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm like, they never do that. So I looked at it, and it was legit, and then I just was straight up like, I'm going to get 2 tickets because regardless of
I'll take somebody.
if Claudia can't make it, I know somebody will be able to take this
I do this
ticket.
thing with some
So,
guys who like movies. Someone,
yeah,
someone
right?
might want to
Like,
go.
So I just grabbed it. I just grabbed 2 tickets to it. But again, all it said was fan event, and all it said was a Batman experience. And what it kept reassuring is you're going to be some of the first fans to see it. So in my mind, I was like, that's cool alone.
I'm important.
Just to
No
be
more
able-
FOMO.
Right? Like just to be able to say like I got to see it and I got to see it 2 days early. Cool. Sure. Why not? And then yeah, it had all these extra perks with it, which was fucking awesome. Actually, the only other time I had that experience, I'll say quickly, was Godzilla, Gareth Edwards Godzilla. I was in Toronto when they had a fan event for it. It was 2 days before the movie came out, and what was neat about that one is he actually came out and
Goddamn.
introduced the movie and did a quick little Q&A at the beginning. And they at Dundas Square, they took it over and they actually built a subway cart coming out of the ground that was slashed.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
and they had like a broken down helicopter and shit to promote the movie.
What'd they do with that? Where is that now?
Yeah, I hope it's somewhere like it should be at like a park or
What'd they do
one
with
of their
that?
studios or whatnot. But like that fan event, but what I'm saying is like it was very, it just is like, this is why I want to go back to theaters again. Like they should be doing
Yeah.
this more.
For the surfing
To bring
Batman
you back.
hanging from the ceiling.
Dude, you know what was funny is when we walked in and we looked at it, I'm like, of all the it's still great, but I love of all the Batman movies, it's Batman and Robin.
Yep.
And how fucking great is that?
He
But,
surfs, he skates, he does it all.
But yeah, in short, kids, go see the Batman. It is fantastic. I would say it's more a crime thriller than anything at all.
Oh.
I wouldn't even tell
like
people
that.
it's a superhero movie. I'd be like, do you like thrillers? Do you like crime, murder, mysteries?
Do you like
Cool.
penguin-shaped men?
Right? No, and it's cool. It's very, and it's what the main thing about it is it's something new that we haven't seen before, and that's exactly what we should be getting when it's this whole new universe and they're making an effort to be like, this is a new Batman. It definitely does that, and it's what we want. It's amazing. It's
You know,
very different.
I heard that the Riddler actually does have powers in this one. Because he was able to create a woman out of thin air by writing about her.
Okay, Ruby Sparks.
They actually know they it's the one tie-in.
The Rubler?
This is the one tie-in I can give is he actually has Jim Carrey's helmet TV thing.
That's hilarious.
No, he doesn't. But how stupid, amazing would that
Edward
be?
Enigma.
How are you
speaker.
doing this, Riddler? Well, I found this, actually. Just starts putting it on his head. A man's fishing, a hologram.
Doing a dance. He's wearing
I guess
a
it would just be a
leotard.
VR helmet now,
Yeah.
but anyways.
It's just VR.
That's what Riddler did basically in Joel Schumacher's is he made VR and everyone fucking lost their shit.
Yeah, put that away. That's way too
What
early.
is this? And their brains just started melting. Yeah, and then here we are 30 years later and we have it.
You mean in the best Batman movies? Next debate?
Your entrance was good. His was better. That's my favorite line in that movie.
Martin, what do you wanna quiz Charles about?
It's very Riddler.
I already asked about the erections. So I'm
Okay.
good.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I
I know.
just-
Full 10
Right
out of
off
10
the hop,
erections.
how many
Oh, yeah.
erections?
Yeah, from the minute it starts, I'd say it's a hard on. for
Okay,
sure.
I'll get all
Wow.
filmy for a second.
Cut.
It's beautiful.
I'm just kidding.
It is a beautiful movie to watch.
Is it? I heard somebody say that it's comparable to Seven or Zodiac.
Yeah, I would say like if,
we're it's a very dark treatment.
if you
of-
ever wanted to see, and I mean this as a compliment, not in a way that he copied or any way, but if you ever wanted to get a taste of what David Fincher would be like doing something superhero-esque, it's this.
Oh, okay.
For sure. Paul Dano actually said he approached the character more like a Zodiac, and it makes sense.
Well,
because Zodiac himself used puzzle.
Well, and look how he dresses.
Right.
Like it's very
and
similar.
his
It is,
reasoning
yeah.
is common sense. It's to stop DNA from being anywhere. So if you're sealed in tape,
You can't leave anything.
that's correct.
Oh, because the way they play that is that's part of his broken psyche, but it's just a smart way of
That I
leaving your
don't know,
DNA
but I'm just
not
saying
on the
it
that-
just
table.
kind of makes sense.
I'm
for
just
his
saying is
character,
it's-
I
Yeah,
think.
that's what I mean. Like
It's a very grounded, like we all thought, like what I love is after the Nolan movies, it set a standard, rightfully so. And Nolan was the most grounded at that time. Yeah. No. this is like
no.
like nothing against Nolan, but even if this is just the one and we don't get anything after, we don't get a franchise or
Oh,
whatnot,
we are.
it's easily, to me, the best Batman movie ever made.
Wow.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I'm
Just because it's a
excited.
lot. It's a lot. It's a character study more than anything I've ever seen. And that's what Batman should be.
How many Jokers out of 10 that were in the movie? Do you give it?
Honestly, if I
How many
don't normally
lemons?
like rating things out of a number, but this one is an easy 10. It's just easy. There's no hesitation.
I'm so excited.
I'm really excited.
And I'm not even
yeah.
going to lie, like halfway through, I was like, this is a perfect movie so far. I don't want to jinx it, but this is amazing. And no, it stays true, man.
God
All
damn.
throughout.
And
Yeah.
can I tell you, Michael,
Yeah.
I'm very excited that we're going to see it in the afternoon. That's my favorite thing in the world is midday matinees leaving with movie blindness.
Not only that is what I love too
I
is
eat
like
that shit up.
what I'll say too is like it's crazy that it's like at first when it was a 3-hour movie that was nuts, but it's not.
It paces well.
Oh
Should
my God.
be.
It's one of those movies. You know, a movie is good when it finishes and it's 3 hours, and you're like, "Can I get another hour, please?"
Lincoln.
Yeah.
You know, a movie does that. What Lincoln does. It's
But this one was
stupendously.
like, "Could I please get like keep going, please? Don't end here."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
yeah, it's
leaves you wanting more.
yeah.
I've heard about the end credit scene.
I don't
that-
know anything.
You
What I will say is this: there's no
We're not talking about nothing.
There's no after-
I love going right to the end.
There's no after credit scene, but there is a very, very cool. What did the word you use? Zhuzh.
Is it a
Zhuzh
vignette?
for fans? It's a cool little thing for fans.
Okay.
Oh.
It's worth staying till the end. And what I will say, it's going to be very easy to stay till the end because the whole time you're watching the credits, you're like, wow. And you're just sitting there digesting anyways. And then there's a cool little thing at the end. You're like, oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, it's very cool. It's neat. It's they care about their fans.
I feel like oh my God, I feel like Jessie from Saved by the Bell when she does all those caffeine pills.
Oh yeah.
I'm so
So
excited.
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
I'm so scared.
That's how
I
I
remember
feel.
that.
No, and it's neat. What I will say too is it's neat now. Like I personally, if I was the studio, I wouldn't have announced any HBO Max shows until the movie had come out for a bit. But now that they have after seeing it, I care. Well, and Peacemaker's helping with that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, ooh,
Peacemaker's really
these
gonna
tie-in shows to
imagine if
this.
they tie those two together.
I was
Well,
just thinking that.
Matt
Imagine if we're
Matt
gonna.
Reeves said specifically he's not sharing this universe, which you will watch it, and it does not need to because
Yeah.
there's so much here. Like to throw in something like Batman or Wonder Woman in this universe would be dumb.
It just would throw.
It'd be
everything off.
stupid. It'd be also they wouldn't. I'm not giving anything away, but I don't think they would be like, yeah, I think they'd be afraid of Batman because it's like what you want. It's
Yeah.
It's what it is that there is so much with Batman alone that why not explore that? And like Marvel's doing shared everything, let them do that. Why don't you guys just focus on this?
Make
And
good
if you,
movies.
Yeah, and if you want to do a shared Batman universe, find a Batman for that. Like they're kind of doing like Michael Keaton's in Another. Like he's reprising Batman in The Flesh and in Batgirl. Cool.
Let 'em.
Like why not? Right?
Yeah.
Like why not, you know? But I really hope that they do with this kind of like give it the treatment they gave with Nolan where just invest in Batman. There's
Agreed.
so much to explore with it. And like it's year 2 of Batman. Just explore it, man. Keep going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but Matt Reeves is easily one of like I loved what he did with Planet of the Apes. I love that whole franchise. That whole series is great. And he's very talented. He's a very, very, very talented filmmaker.
I don't love what he did with his hair and his face.
He's got the Jim Gordon stash
He
going.
cut his hair, and I think he's thinking he's Jim Gordon.
You know what? I honestly,
Like something's wrong with him. Like that
it's-
mustache looks like he
it's
should
his
be
power.
50 yards away from
But it's
the
his-
kindergarten
he
school
f-
up the street.
he found a power rod, and it's his power rod right now.
That's right.
Because if he
Power
had that,
rod.
if he had that during Batman, keep it. Because like
Yep.
I'm telling
It
you,
works.
every decision that guy made. This is the other thing too, is Warner Brothers fully trusted him, and it shows. So keep doing that. If he says he wants to do something with Batman, and they're like, I don't know, don't trust yourselves, trust him. He knows what he's doing.
All
And
right,
he
cool.
showed that.
I'm
He
just gonna
showed
watch
that.
the trailer 100 fucking times. When I get home, I swear to God.
Yeah, I think the rest of the evening I'll
It's
be doing
cool.
that too.
They released a little bit, like a 5-minute behind the scenes. Definitely watch it after you see the movie.
Okay.
But you can see it on their YouTube channel. It's great. It's really cool. It
Why
gives
would
you
they do
just a
that?
little bit more of their creative process, and it's
Goddamn.
it's very cool.
Hey, Smoking Bob,
I think he means
Smoking Bob here.
He means you.
what'd you watch this week?
Couple of things, but I'm just gonna talk about one because I just watched it yesterday and I binged pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just finished watching The Boys Diabolical.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
it
I
came
saw
out.
that. I
It's
saw that
really
being
good.
pumped on or Hot Ones. They're sponsored by that. That's the animated
You
version.
guys
right?
ever watch The Animatrix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, but The Boys.
How many episodes is it?
I think it's 8, but they're only like 15 minutes
Yeah, man.
shorts.
And it's like
But,
different
like,
animation and stuff.
Each
right?
episode is written by a different person. So Seth Rogen has one. Justin Roiland from Rick and Morty does an episode. And Awkwafina also writes an episode.
What?
They're
Cool.
all great.
Cool.
The Justin Roiland is probably my favorite because it kind of has the animation style of Rick and Morty. But it's just it's funny. It's good. It's funny. It's dark. It's if you're a fan of The Boys, watch The Boys Diabolical.
And like Martin it's like the Animatrix, like it's stories set in that boys universe, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's so
Story
cool.
set- familiar characters from the Boys universe as well will be on it. Some
cool.
voices, some like you'll get some of the original, like the live action cast, I think, in
Cool.
it in a couple episodes. So yeah,
Very cool.
good, really well done. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting much, but yeah,
That's awesome.
kind of reminded me of Invincible in terms of the level of violence and gore.
That's exciting. I didn't know
Who's-
it came out yet. What's it on? Is it on Prime?
It's on Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just saw one quick clip, and it's like it almost looks like Baby's Day Out, but it's one of the super babies, and
That's the Seth Rogen episode.
It's the Seth Rogen right? Like, because I saw one clip, and it's like she trips, and literally her eyes go, and she kills like 5 people in a row, and then it's like ha, 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 like a little baby, and then crawls away. And I like just saw that clip, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's funny. Like that's a great kind of Looney Tunes idea, right? Like it's funny.
Hyper cartoon
Yeah.
violence is very in right now.
Well,
It
yeah.
is. 'cause
Tell me it's not, right?
Yeah. Convince me I'm wrong.
It's what everybody wants.
Well, it's always that idea that I can laugh at this because it's a cartoon versus if it's live
Well,
action.
I don't
and
think
real
anybody
people,
was
right?
laughing at the train scene in Invincible.
No,
I was
I
cackling.
think everybody was like,
I was spanking my knee
Jaw
sitting there.
drop.
Crazy.
Jaw drop.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, even before
smiles, all smiles.
even
guys.
before the train one, does he not just grab someone's skull and just
Crush
smash
it
it in
beneath his
front of him?
hand.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you see it splatter on him like a fucking pizza pop. Like that was great. Yeah.
So
Anyways,
there's
Don't
your.
cook your pizza pops that long, man.
No,
It's got more stuff.
Come on.
that's right. You remember those commercials, Scott? They would fucking hammer it on the plane. It'd be like,
it's got more stuff.
got more stuff.
Hey,
What does that mean?
who's
Anyway,
doing
sorry.
the voice work on Diabolical? Anybody?
Yeah. Is it the same crew?
Well, it's different. Each episode is different voices, but I
that's
think
kinda
Alison Brie has a voice in it.
Of course.
Aisha Tyler
Nice.
writes and directs one as well, and she voices one of the
Wow.
characters,
Oh,
which
that's
is great.
That's great.
Might give this
Seth
a watch
Rogen has a
tonight.
part in it. He voices.
Well, is it-
I think the guy. I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy who originally voices Homelander is in it too.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Here, I got it. I got it
Also,
right here.
Elizabeth Shue.
Oh,
She
great.
voices as well.
I love her, man. I love her.
This is a
Yeah.
pretty.
She can do no wrong.
This
Fuck
is a
yeah.
pretty stat cast. So Anthony Starr, who just got arrested for getting into a fight in New Zealand.
No.
But who hasn't?
Yeah, it's New Zealand.
Were they fighting over the Hobbit and shit?
Ben
probably.
Schwartz, Chris Diamantopoulos,
Oh, he's good.
Aquafina does a voice. Seth Rogen does a voice. Elizabeth Shue, Jason Isaacs,
Fucking love you,
Camille
Wizzy.
Nanjiani, Nassim Pedrad,
That Chris,
Kieran Culkin, Andy
Oh,
Samberg,
nice.
Aisha
Holy
Tyler,
shit.
Christian Slater, Simon Pegg, Giancarlo
That's-
Esposito, John DiMaggio, Michael
Nice.
Cera, Dominic McElliott, Don Cheadle, Kevin Smith,
Wow.
Francis Conroy.
well,
If they ask you, you do it.
I totally. Well, like Invincible has one of the best voice casts I've ever seen.
Keenan Thompson.
They got a lot of SNL alum on this.
You know what I think it is too? Is
Sean
it's,
Patrick Thomas.
it's
Martin.
probably much easier to get people to do like voice work. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than flying in and filming.
I can tell you.
And they're friends. Like Seth Rogen's probably like, hey,
Well, I mean, do
you
you,
wanna voice
is Lorne
this?
Michaels involved at all, Martin?
I don't know. I didn't really research into it, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something in there.
Because
but,
there's like a weird amount of SNL alum.
but yeah, like Andy
on
Samberg
there.
writes an episode.
that's
Like he has an
great.
episode that he writes himself.
That's awesome.
So
And it's called The Boys Diabolical, right?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's cool. That's
this
very cool.
this is Garth Ennis, Aquafina, Elliot
what I
Glazer.
think is kind of smart too is they can do this in between seasons of The Boys.
Why not, right?
Right? And it's smart because it's still giving you content.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, something to tide you over.
Totally.
I
Yeah.
love Aisha Tyler.
She's
I'm excited
amazing.
to see where they go with it.
She's.
man.
I had a crush on her ever since Friends.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Totally.
Dude,
and
I
ever
had a-
since that, it was like, and then she hosted a reboot of Whose Line Is It Anyway,
Yep.
and she was really good. I really liked her as host.
She did
And then obviously Archer.
she did a dating show where she like there was 3 people on a date and she would have to like she was-
Eliminate.
eliminate. That's exactly
Is it
what
eliminate?
It's
No
It's
way.
eliminate.
Get out of
She
here.
hosted eliminate.
That's funny.
That's where my crush grew from her. And then I found her on Whose Line and was like, oh my God, of course you should be doing improv.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so like 15 minutes, easily digestible. And is it playing in the same storyline or is it a different story?
I don't want to like. There's certain like one of them. I think one of the episodes plays to the actual canon of the live action series, but
Oh,
the
wow.
rest are kind of on their own.
Are
But
they
there
all
are
on their
familiar
own? Like
characters
they're
within that universe that do appear in the
Oh.
other shorts.
That's
okay,
cool.
so they're just like, what if? Is it what if?
It's kind of like a what if. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Ah,
I would say.
That's cool. I mean, I
Like
think
like I said, it's like the Animatrix or that Halo one. Halo all the Halo animated shorts.
I know
oh
what
yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
Is that
yeah.
red versus blue you're talking about?
That's
It's
a
no, there's
rooster
an
teeth.
actual. It was like the Animatrix. It was a Halo, and they had different studios do shorts of content.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's similar to that.
it's
That's
almost more like a celebration of the property. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Rather than it being like issue 1, issue 2. It's just like celebrate random stories, right? And like I love that running theme like Star Wars Visions did it as well of getting different talent with each episode. I think that's so wicked.
Yeah, letting. What do you think?
Yeah.
How do you paint? What do
Yeah.
you wanna, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
How would you make a Star Wars Visions Wes Anderson?
Oh, wait,
Malkovich.
David
is
Fincher,
clearly Vader.
David Fincher, how many takes do you need to make a Star Wars?
Oh my God.
7,000.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, you want me to go next? You want to go next?
I'll go next.
You go
I
next.
don't mind going next. I saw Uncharted.
Oh, yes, you did.
Nice.
Yes, you did.
And
And
I mean,
you said,
so I got there. I got to the theater. I immediately locked my keys in my truck.
yeah. How do you think that happened? Like, were you
Well,
so?
I was.
He's committed to the movie.
I was gonna say Mark Wahlberg just got you a little.
Well, I was waiting for some friends, and they weren't there yet, so I was smoking some weed. And I forgot that I had my keys in the truck, and it was turned off, and I got out and locked it, and then I realized immediately and made the decision there to just go in and watch the movie, and I made a CAA appointment in the movie, so I missed some of it.
What was happening? What'd you miss?
He was meeting Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, so like an introduction to the new character.
But I will say, even though I missed some, it doesn't feel like I needed it.
I was gonna get the impression it's not the kind of movie where you're like, oh,
They're trying to
I'm
find
completely lost
It's
now.
a MacGuffin. They're trying
Right.
to find a MacGuffin to do another thing, and it's super easy to follow.
yeah.
And I'd call it like one of those shut your brain off and just.
So it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very fun, and it looks really cool, and all the stunts are awesome. It's
Good.
just like there's no. It
Zhoosh.
doesn't fill my heart. I don't feel full after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What were you
I call that
expect?
the Michael Bay special.
I feel like it was fun. Like I would say go see it in theaters because it's never gonna hit the same. Like just with all you've seen the trailers and all the things they do. It's absolutely wild, but
Well, and I
it
think
just doesn't mean anything.
Made him a lot of money though.
It did,
Yeah.
and it sets
Sure,
up.
they're gonna do
I'll
another
just
one.
say it sets up for another one.
I figured it
Obviously.
have to, right? Like they always kind of do, right?
well,
Like,
they have like a fucking 100 games of these, so they
Yeah.
could just do it forever.
do they? I have one question, just as a fan of the series, like the games, because I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to. Is Elena introduced at all in it? The blonde. She's like his.
Don't think
She becomes
so.
his love interest, his main love.
Unless it happened in the
Okay.
scene I didn't see, then I
Okay.
don't think so.
okay.
crucial
but
to
the
the
other-
story now.
But Chloe's in it.
Yes.
Chloe's like she's the dark haired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her. She's great. Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Okay, I got yeah. I think the only responsibility a movie studio has to making a video game into a film is make it as cool as the video game is. Like with these stories,
With something like that, yes.
like these stories aren't great story. Like a video game story just has to be like, it has to be thrilling.
Yeah.
It has to have a couple like, what's going on? I have like what ifs. You know,
Twists
like
and
twists and
turns.
turns, like hard 90 degrees. And that's it. That's all you really need for
For
a
sure.
video game because you're playing the experience. But when you go look at it, if it doesn't look as good as if it was feeling, well, if it's not the same feeling you got while playing it, then it's failed.
or it doesn't identify. Like
Yeah.
you can't just. It doesn't stand out.
Like,
Like
they
oh,
just
that's the
used-
game.
Like
Yeah.
They
I
just
don't
use
know-
these characters and
Yeah.
then put them on the screen.
I mean, they kind of did that with Sully.
Yeah.
well, and that's my fear. Like,
He's-
but
well, and this is Mark Wahlberg does a very good job of playing Mark Wahlberg.
Right.
Like he's not. I
which
don't.
is in the Mark Wahlberg
With a
business.
kid like young Tom
They're
Holland,
great
it
together.
works.
I'll
yeah,
say they're
right?
great together
Yeah.
and they're very funny together. It's just.
I saw the scene. I saw an extended scene online with a cat, and I thought I did laugh. I laughed. Where he's like, "What the hell's with this cat?" He's like, "I just got it for you because your life seems super like lonely." He's like, "I don't want this cat," and then he's like, "It's his best friend." Like,
Yeah.
right. That was funny. It made me laugh. Would I say Uncharted? No, but it was like fun, and it goes with it. Like,
Yeah,
Sully
like that-
and
it's-
Nathan have that banter in the game. They clearly are still doing it. Okay,
I will
That's-
say, and it's unintentionally funny at a lot of points. That's what got me. But
That's good.
so everybody's
it's-
playing it serious.
Oh,
it can
do
do
you-
it both. It's funny on purpose, and it's also just.
how
kinda
was
stupid.
Antonio Banderas?
Oh, you mean the dad from Spy Kids?
I love that you always say that. That's great.
He good villain.
Yeah, he was good. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
just
Because
a
I love
natural.
him. I love
What's
him.
not to like, right?
Yeah,
Martin,
he's-
what do you got to say about
he's
this?
You gonna go see this?
I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I'm gonna see it in theaters. Like, I mean, I
It-
like the Uncharted series, but
It's gonna be one of those that goes on Netflix.
let me say this: my priority right now is Batman.
Yeah,
Like that's the next.
that's
thing I'm
what
gonna see in
everybody's
theaters. If I
priority
have
should be.
time, Uncharted maybe.
I get
but
that.
like,
That's the
I'm-
right decision.
I'm going to Uncharted simply because I've seen Batman already, and I'm like, no one's going to be in the theater watching Uncharted right
That's
now.
what I love to do, man.
So
I
yeah,
love that I don't have
yeah.
to because like
Yeah.
I'm not like video game. Like I tried to enjoy Assassin's Creed.
yeah.
Oh fuck, that was.
Oh
bad.
no, you can't. That was a bad one.
But do you
See,
see
but-
what? Do
but
you
that
guys
was-
get my? Hang on.
but-
Do you guys get my point though? Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the only job though is to take that story. And when I played that game for the first time and was like, okay, this isn't even happening in some 13th century world. It's happening in real time.
Right.
And there's this weird cloning thing going on. Like all of the intro to that was nothing like the video game. So instinctively, I didn't have to know the story. I just knew this wasn't what was being put on screen.
Yeah.
And with Uncharted, it sounds like, okay, we've learned our lesson. We're going to put on screen what the video game experience is, and we're going to use that story instead of making our own story off of popular characters we know you'll go see because you've
That's
played
right.
them to death.
So
And
you didn't like Prince of Persia?
I didn't even see it. Like, I don't see a lot of video game adaptations because
Nobody's Persia was.
Jake Gyllenhaal, baby.
everything I play,
Nobody says Persian more than Jake Gyllenhaal.
everything I play is screened a game, right?
Yeah.
Or based off of. So like unless
What I think now is also where it's at is we're at a point now where, and I mean it's a huge factor with Star Wars and Marvel, where they will give them the same character treatment they would Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. Like,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is they're actually believing in it enough to do that because like for like
you're
even-
just saying they're giving them enough lines that the characters
they're
develop.
giving-
Not saying
I think they're
that
just
Daniel-
giving them enough of a chance because before it was like, no, sell toys. Make sure you do this
Yeah.
because we got to sell toys. Whereas now
Oh, and there still
they're
is
still
that.
doing that for sure.
There's just some depth.
But they're actually committing more to these as projects more so than like,
Yeah.
this is what's going to sell this line for Mattel. It's still doing that.
Like
but do you
Matt
know what I
Reeves
mean?
doesn't
Like,
have to worry about that at all.
no, man. Like you can tell. And like what even the new Mortal Kombat movie. And that's why I think the new Mortal Kombat movie was a really good video game adaptation.
I thought it was great.
It did such a good job. You look and feel
what
that
more do
movie and it's
people
Mortal
want?
Kombat.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But that movie couldn't have been made. Like, I still love the 90s Mortal Kombat, but the 90s Mortal Kombat came out because that's all they could do in the 90s because the studio was not willing to be like,
Goro
go
was
hard
hilarious.
rated R. You know, like, no. Like, you're going to hit Goro in the balls. We're going to do everything short of like, right? Like,
This
you
is
know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
So I think
Goro
that's
has
what it is
10
too, is
balls.
that they can commit to it and they can make them the way they can actually make them good now.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed was one where you were saying where I like that needed to focus more on story.
Try it again.
than
They can
anything
do that
else.
again. Why
Yeah,
don't they
Netflix,
it
try
just
again?
Netflix
and that's
is going to do.
well.
a
That's
show.
my point
They're
here.
going to do a show. up
Is
there.
that
I
it
think
sounds
that
like
works.
Uncharted is giving that because they've learned the error of their ways
Well,
through all of
They're
this. But
the next big live action movie from Sony is supposed to be Ghosts of Tsushima, and that
Cool.
game,
Fuck yeah.
that game is incredible, and the story and the characters is what makes that game. And doing a movie like that, if it's not a character like approach, it's a failure because
Like The
you can make
Witcher's
it look
dope.
good.
They can do it.
Exactly.
It
Like
has-
the
yeah.
Witcher approach is what they got to do with this. And if they keep doing that with properties like this, man, it's going to be at a point where like the Last of Us TV show, I'm sure is going to make people be like, this is a fucking video game? Like, do you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like,
I think it'll make
right?
people play the game.
yeah, like 100%. But it's, I mean, even the Russo brothers had a very awesome comment in the last couple of weeks, and they said the future of storytelling is in video games because they're doing things that we'll never be able to do in cinema. I get what he means. Like, I get what he means because what he means by that.
storytelling in video games and really has to like there. It's okay. We're getting in the weeds here with this. How many?
Don't point your gun at me.
How many
mustaches.
How many Mark Wahlbergs is Mark Wahlberg out of 10? Do you give it?
Man, I don't know. It's like a 5-6.
Okay, but
Like, it's fun.
It's a popcorn
Just,
movie.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like,
Cool.
it's going to be on Netflix.
but
in a
like
few weeks, but
cinematically and
it
all of
looks
the
awesome.
hubbub.
It looks
it's
awesome.
Not,
It was funny. It's just it doesn't fill me.
It's a video game movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of that kind of video game.
But, like, super fun. Take your kids to it.
Right on. Right on.
They'd eat that
Sweet.
shit up.
Ask me what I watched this week.
Hey, Michael, what did you watch this week?
Oh, I love it when you ask me that. No Exits. Brand new Disney. Weird as fuck. Like and again, this is from the Shauna Vault. This isn't from my picking. She was like, "Let's watch a movie," and I was like, "The only way we're gonna watch it is if you pick it."
The
Because
Shaunaverse.
the Shauna.
I like
exactly,
that. I like the Shaunaverse.
But it
got good
produces. I can't take credit for this shit
Spider Mike.
just because I would have looked at this and I would have been like, oh, this is one of those. This is like a Bruce Willis movie on Netflix, right? Like it's just made to grab attention, and there we go. No Exit. So
Is it a movie?
it's a movie.
Okay.
It stars who does it star? Havana Rose Liu, Danny Ramirez,
know
David
Danny.
Rysdal, Mila Harris, Dennis Haysbert. We all know Dennis Haysbert from 24.
Oh,
played the
yeah.
president.
Yeah.
Uh,
So not a huge cast.
not a
like,
huge. No, nobody you'd know.
Not Brad Pitt. Like,
No.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
But
Cheap
Dennis
movie.
Haysbert?
I think maybe 30, 40, 50 million maybe to make this.
Oh, 'cause that's cheap.
Girls in rehab.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up getting a call that her mom's sick, wants to go see her mom, hops in the car, breaks out of rehab, gets stuck in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
5 other people get stuck in the same snowstorm. They're
Whoa.
all told they got to go hang out in the rest stop. She
Oh,
ends up
shit.
finding a body in the back of a van in the parking lot of a girl who's been kidnapped. At this
Oh.
point, you now have to figure out who did the kidnapping.
What is this on?
It's on Disney
I
Plus.
saw the trailer for this. It looks good.
Dude,
I'm
I'm 8 out of 10.
Really?
Eight
Yeah,
out, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 milk carton posters of missing kids. Like
Wow.
it's a thriller that knows its job. It has a baby whodunit with a huge whodunit
Oh.
and a huge fucking curveball at the end where you turn away.
This turns out to be how he became the president in 24.
Yeah.
It's the prequel.
It's
yeah,
a
it
lead
is.
up.
It's Jack Bauer comes in at the end. Drop the child.
Yeah.
Drop the child.
Yeah.
And you got to take 12 shots every time you see
Where's
drop.
my daughter?
There it is. Thank you.
How did you find her?
Yeah.
The baby is his
Jack Bauer
daughter.
sound
Yeah.
bites.
That was really good.
No, but
Martin.
that's awesome. That's
It was super fun, and Dennis Haysbert plays this this retired soldier from the military, Dale Dickey. I don't know if you've seen
Dale Denton.
no Dale Dickey.
Dale Denton.
She's a character
Fucking
actress.
Dale
Pineapple
Denton. Get
Express,
me Dale Denton.
baby.
I don't
You just
really
been served by Dale Denton.
like you'd know her
Did
if
you just puke in my printer?
you'd know some of this cast if you'd seen them, but I just wanted to watch. Like again, no trailer.
Yeah.
No information. No,
I saw
no
like
nothing.
it was one of the trailers like I started watching and then I stopped because I'm like no I want to know anymore. I don't want to know, but it was cool. I was intrigued by
The
it.
first act is just the main character, Havana Lou Rose Liu, in rehab and like experiencing rehab and rejecting rehab and
Oh,
not.
see, I'll be able to crush that because I just finished Euphoria. Now I'm.
Oh yeah,
I
you're
feel like
ready for
now. I feel like I could go to rehab.
You're
so
numb.
yeah,
Yeah,
like-
you've
yeah.
been-
I'm
you're
pretty.
numb.
I'm numb. I'm numb, yeah.
Euphoria needs to come with a side order of rehab for those done.
Do you remember?
All I can say is, thank God you can binge. Like I at least was able. I waited until all of it was out, so
Still
I
on the
can
second
binge
episode
it.
of Euphoria, so no spoilers, please.
No spoilers.
Episode
No
second
spoilers
spoiler.
at all. But all I'm saying is, I like that I can just binge Misery in a bunch and feel it all at once, and then get on with my day.
Now I'll watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
And like I was sitting watching No Exits and like I was gripping the couch. Like
Yeah.
I was involved, and it's not earth-shattering good, but for it being a thriller and like you start looking over at each other and you're like, I know who did it. It's her.
Oh.
It's like it's the Saw mentality, right? Everybody's
yeah,
trapped
yeah.
in one place,
Yeah.
and you got to figure out what's going on. And then the girl, like it just keeps like an ogre with an onion. There's layers, like it
Yeah.
just keeps pulling back all
Okay.
these things.
Because you said Saw, I'm just gonna say before I watch this movie, the dead body did it all.
You would, you'd think so. You'd
That's
think-
my theory.
I don't mean.
Groundbreaking.
That's how I go into
film
everything
making.
now.
Okay,
When they're like, that dude's dead, though, I'm like, is he?
Saw.
Did you see
Sorry.
it happen?
Did anybody check his
Unless they
pulse?
showed the fucking scene and someone checked his pulse, I don't believe it. Yeah.
Damn right.
Saw-esque, not
No,
Saw.
I know,
There's no
yeah.
there's no dead body.
I'm gonna watch and be like, Michael lied. Jigsaw didn't show up once.
But
The fuck?
Somebody's a huge fan of what was the Denzel Washington series? He did?
Man on
The
Fire.
Equalizer.
Thank you, The
Shit.
Equalizer.
Ridiculous.
It's the same thing.
Man on
It's
Fire.
It's the
Great
same.
movie.
Yeah,
I
Right.
was close.
Yeah.
Man on Fire is just about he protects a kid.
Tell me it's not the
Equalizer is he
same
protects
thing.
a lady, I guess.
he
Thank
protects
you.
everybody in the Equalizer,
My
including Home
best
Depot.
friend.
Home Depot employees, but
oh, that was cool.
the
You mean Queen Latifah's The Equalizer?
That's right.
she isn't on TV.
So is Denzel her dad? Is that the-
Point is,
okay, sorry.
guys, point is that someone's a huge fan of the Equalizer because a nail gun was used as a weapon throughout the entire third
Oh,
act.
cool.
Like at one point, like one guy gets like 7 pumped in the chest,
cool.
and it's like a silhouette shot, so you just see like the nails.
Oh, cool.
Like everybody's like it's perfect black, and it's
Cool. And then it's like Black & Decker. Only at Black & Decker.
Yeah, he breaks the fourth wall, looks into the camera and whatever.
Milwaukee.
But yeah, no, 8 out of 10 missing kids. 8 out of 10. 8 out of
mark that?
yeah, 8 out of 10 like kidnapper vans. 8 out of 10 ex presidents from 24.
You're going to
Awesome.
jail.
Like
8 out of 10. I got candy in the van.
yeah, 8 out of
Yeah.
Xbox and candy. But like it was a fantastic thrill ride for not knowing anything. So again, I stand by. Don't watch a trailer.
Cool.
Like watch a trailer for Batman, like we all have 37 times. But actually, don't even watch it 37 times. That's the lesson I'm trying to teach myself. Is like you really form an opinion on that trailer, and
Yeah.
and I could have. Disney gives it to you, and I could have been like, should I?
It's
It
just
goes.
like,
It goes
how
back
do-
to well, it goes back to that conversation of like wasting your time and talking about movies before we started talking of like what you're going to pick to watch for an hour and a half or 2 hours, right? Like,
That's right.
Right.
It
Right.
is a waste of time if it doesn't do something. at
Remember
least.
remember wasting most of your Friday night at Blockbuster or Rogers
Yeah.
just try to pick something?
in an anxiety hole
And
of
then you
like,
find yourself in comedy with the 7 week, and you're like, "Well, I could have it for a week." And you're like, that's why I'm picking a movie. What am I?
you
doing?
get
What am I doing here?
You get up to the person at the till and they're like, meatballs again?
Why
Yeah,
do
no,
you need it for
or
a week?
you finally pick it, you bring it to the friend, they're like, "Sir, that's the display case. It's out." And you're like, "I'm gonna go kill myself in the back then."
Yeah, I couldn't step into Blockbuster without having a slight panic attack of like the pressure to walk out with a John.
I got it.
like
You get home, it's the wrong one.
or like, do you remember like throwing
So glad
bows?
we don't have to rent porn at video stores anymore. That's so embarrassing.
It's true.
Mom and pop shops renting porno tape.
Waiting
Oh
until
my
there's
God.
absolutely
Going
no
to
one and then just
AOV.
running.
Okay, did we all wait to sneak into the X-rated porno aisle, or did we all try to
you
sneak
guys
in at one
jerk
point?
off like cavemen.
We grew up still in analog. We were
God
still in
damn
analog
it.
time.
I was still stealing
Just
my
like
buddies.
your
Dude, I
memory
remember
and
stealing a
shit.
Playboy from Sev, like getting someone to distract them so I could steal a Playboy from 7-Eleven and just
but like, no,
look at
when
it in Dalhousie Forest.
It
and be
was
like,
a PlayStation magazine,
was-
you nerd.
yeah, it was Wizards.
there was a video joint in Beausejour that had like an X-rated section, and every so often when no one was looking, I would just be like, whoop, right around the corner, and like that was your exposure to it, right?
Like,
Like
you guys want to hear
You
something
little
great?
pervert.
I didn't have the internet.
I worked at Pick-a-Flick, which was a locally owned rental
Yeah,
place
did
at
they
one
have
point.
one?
So they did, but you know what? I started working there after they got rid of it. Guess what became our staff room?
You pervert.
Yeah, that was gross. When I found that out, I was like, so eating lunch in the car, cool.
They literally had to come into the staff room while you were warming up your noodles, and they'd be like, they'd have to go grab Debbie Does Dallas and take it off.
Sorry,
the rack.
we're also selling toys here as well. They just have a box on the side. They're like, here we go.
In the
Like,
fridge?
fuck.
Like weird pharmacy toys.
Oh my god!
As Martin said, right? Like they had the medicine. So
Jesus Christ.
What else did I watch? Oh, I watched
like that.
the Ken and Barbie Killers.
oh, okay. I keep seeing that ad on Snapchat. What is that?
I thought that was just
it's
Pam
a
and
docu-series.
Is that not Pamela and Tommy?
No, that's not Pam and Tommy.
Okay.
That's a great show.
I should watch it. That and The Gilded Age are two hard suggestions.
What?
that-
Pam and Tommy's been.
No, yeah, Pam and Tommy's been
It's
recommended
great.
multiple. And
It's great.
The Gilded Age on HBO has been recommended.
We're
multiple.
really liking it. Like it's Pam and Tommy's fan. It's awesome. It's really good.
Ben and
Jerry.
Ben and Jerry. Ken and Barbie. Ken and Barbie is
Carla
Homolka.
It is
It's
right.
Homolka and
Oh,
Bernardo.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But what? Okay, so what?
Oh.
The Ben and Jerry story.
They're fucked up, man.
Oh, that story's real fucked. What's
Well,
more fucked is that she's basically had her identity changed and she's living in like Barbados.
She has a white,
On
like
the
a husband
government's-
and kids now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Full new
Yeah.
life and everything, and the government took care of it and everything.
Well,
You moved to
this-
Florida. That's what Casey Anthony did. That's what you did when you do something fucked up. You moved to
But what's-
Florida because they don't care.
But what's worse is that Canada basically, our government made a deal with her before they actually saw the evidence, and then when they got the evidence, they were like, "Oh, she's not a victim. She helped orchestrate it, but
And
we already
then
made a
they
plea deal
watched
with
the
her."
tapes.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
hang on here. So
You ever make a deal first?
Amazing
Ken and-
stuff.
Ken and Barbie is the docu-series about the tapes.
Oh, it's focusing on the tapes
Can I just-
specifically.
he was the worst
Ugh.
rapper on the face of the earth. I don't know if you heard any of his stuff.
Bernardo?
Have they played any of that? He wanted to be
He
a
raps
rapper.
on
He
the thing?
loved Vanilla Ice.
Oh, that's
He
great.
Oh my
idolized him, and he might possibly be
mistake.
the shittiest rapper ever.
Well, he made
Well,
Vanilla Ice
no,
quit.
No.
That's how
Like,
bad he was.
So you get no, that was Suge Knight.
That's
But
true.
you get
Good old Belkin.
you get the introduction to them as a couple. Then you get introduced to the fact that she was like, I'm a battered, abused wife.
Right.
And I am being pulled along through this ride. And then you get into, there were tapes, and you get into when they captured him, and you find out that there were these tapes.
Yeah.
And then when he gets captured and gets a lawyer, Bernardo's like, here's a note. Hands him a note in an interview. Lawyer leaves the interview, goes to the house, walks through everybody. Homolka's family's there. Like, everybody's there, walks into the bathroom, reaches into the rafters, goes all the way down to the end, and grabs a stack of tapes and walks out.
Yeah.
And those tapes incriminate Homolka.
Because it's the murders, right? Like
it's the murders
that
she helped film.
And her sister, too.
Poisoned her sister.
Yeah.
Like, she is
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, man. And that one's bad because she's telling him to, like, feel her sister up and, like, oh, yeah, like, do her, make love to her and stuff. But what she told them was, like, he beat me and made me. And then when they see the tapes, they're like, oh.
You just wait until you hear him rap. My name's Paul
That's
Bernardo.
what they're mad. They're like, she never told us that he rapped on these fucking
My name's Paul Bernardo, and I'm here to say I came to rap in a Canadian way.
Oh, no.
I'm sure he's not that far off.
Oh, no.
Anyways, it's a good docuseries. It's on Discovery Plus.
Yeah, see, the only reason I want to get Discovery Plus is they're the streaming. They have all the streaming rights to the 70s show right now.
Discovery Plus.
Yeah, that's the only reason I wanted to get them.
Always with the plus thing.
Yeah, more. So, and like, if you want to watch a good crime docuseries, that's definitely
it's good.
That's one that
story's fucked.
You got to keep like. It's good to keep in the back of your mind every so often and just realize how fucked the system is.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that was one of the biggest, worst handled the government did ever.
Well, they knew it. And you know what, guys? When you see it, you sympathize with the cops because the cops are in a position of
no, I don't.
Well, no, okay, but hang on.
I don't.
Get out of here, frig off.
In this regard, where they were like, okay, we found out that we made a bad deal, and
a dumb deal.
We saw these tapes, and they had to go. What do? Do you charge the woman who helped with the murders?
Yes, you do.
Or do you use her to get the guy who raped and murdered these women?
Oh, it's pretty clear.
You do both. You use her to get him, and then they're both arrested.
From our side of the fence, yes, that's what you do. That's. I'm not saying that's not what you do.
They didn't watch The Wire. They didn't watch any cop shows, did they?
They brought Paul Bernardo in for questioning multiple times.
Yeah,
and he was only in for like 15 minutes at a time.
They
decided he was too good looking to do any of this.
Yeah, and they also 100% banked on a woman couldn't do this.
No.
A woman couldn't assist in these killings.
But
Paul has all the sex he wants.
guys, I'm not defending the actions. What I'm saying is that strapped by how the laws work,
or don't
work for that matter, they were in a position of like, we either let this all go or we charge him using her.
Yeah.
And they made the decision of, well, something has to happen. They fucked up, so this is what they...
Well, and like...
They don't defend their actions. Like, every cop in that documentary is like, fuck,
they know
I feel horrible.
They know
like,
they fucked up.
Yeah, like, they all just look at themselves.
That was the only oopsie I ever made,
This one's my bad.
But,
side note, they did make a cool biopic on it with Laura Prepon as Carla Hanako.
Yeah, they did.
It's just called Carla, and it's made in Canada.
It's
pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
I watched it.
And she did a good job. She's a little bit terrifying.
Of that 70s show. It all circles.
It's all coming in, man.
Full circle.
Yep.
Anyways,
terrible people. If anyone tells you Canadians are good, they are lying.
I don't want.
They're not our best. No.
I don't want to. I don't know how to rate a documentary about two.
How many maple syrups would you get?
I was gonna say how many Southern Ontario's out of 10. Because that's where it took place.
Yeah.
That was about the only. Nah, fuck it.
How many white rappers out of 10?
There we go. There we go. How many white? For like, holy fucking.
I can't believe
like,
they don't. If they don't talk,
they
about
don't.
that,
but I just want to make sure
they don't
just.
show,
okay, good.
No,
okay,
no,
because
no,
I was like, I don't know if I can.
Had they show
it.
Pressing.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Like,
had they shown anything, I'd have been like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm not interested. That's not my thing.
You say my belly button's an innie because I'm outie.
I watched the Kids in the Hall skit with the two guys with the bellies recently, and they like measure how deep they go. Fuck, that's gold. Anyways, there's your What Your Watch list, ladies and gentlemen, for the week. We got some true crime,
for your consideration.
Batman,
Go see Batman.
Go see Batman. Go see Uncharted.
As Martin put it well, make it a priority. Go see Batman.
The Boys Diabolical, which I'm sure is just going to be better now because now that Anthony Starr punched somebody in the face. It's just going to add.
Russell
Do you think he
Crowe
was
should
like,
fight.
I'm Homelander, and then did it?
Do you think he could
I
beat?
hope so.
Who wins in a fight, him or Russell Crowe?
He wins.
Russell
think
Crowe
so?
wins every
Oh,
fucking
no.
time.
Next
No.
debate.
Russell Crowe will be out of breath before he can even finish. He'll be like,
Who's drunk? Though?
Russell Crowe. If it's
Are they-
drunk, Russell Crowe
Are they
wins for
both
sure.
Aussies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
they
think
are.
so.
I
Yeah.
thought one was a Kiwi and one was an Aussie, which makes it even a better fight.
That fight, I don't know.
I mean, from this side
If you're
of the
betting,
pond.
who's the favorite?
It always reminds me of that Flight of the Conchords episode where he's only racist to Australians, and then he finds out they're from New Zealand, and then he's like, "Oh, you guys are okay."
That's a great show.
It's such a good show.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna argue. We're gonna masturbate for your pleasure right now.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Push it. Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Goldstein, give me a fat beat to beat my body test.
I'm so nervous. Yeah, dude. Like, fuck. He sent me a research paper. I was like, he had a works cited and everything, man.
I think I did leave the sightings in there, didn't I? Yeah, because I did rip some shit off Wikipedia.
I looked at Claudia. I was like, dude, I'm gonna fail our test tomorrow. Fuck.
Guys, it's not how long your paper is. It's
No,
just it's how I remember.
No,
right?
it's good. I'm telling you, it's great.
Yeah, and I
You
like,
inspired me. I'm like, I gotta.
Jimmy, do you want to talk about our prep time?
We talked about how we were gonna watch it and like go over notes together, and then Martin messaged me and just said, "Let's just wing it." I think that's our bet. And I mean, I have talking points, and I've prepared some small things.
Hey, we
but-
all have stuff.
Yeah, we have enough stuff. It might not be the right
We all
stuff,
did stuff.
but so welcome to the debate, ladies and gentlemen.
We're so sorry.
As mentioned at the top of the show, if you skipped to this point because you just didn't feel like listening to what we watched, that's fine. We understand. We know that goes on. This debate is inspired by the fact that, Citizen Kane used to be the best movie ever, and Paddington 2 knocked it out of contention by using a dug-up old review of it, and then thus Rotten Tomatoes feeling that they have to consider that review and taking it out of the 100 club and knocking it into the 99%.
But that didn't change Paddington 2's reviews at all.
No,
is
it didn't.
still the perfect movie.
Oh, God, Kay, just keep it in your pants for a second. Let the people know. So that's what we're debating, as mentioned. And we've broken this up into 4 categories. And just for right now, as of this morning, like a stock market, both in 99. So Citizen Kane has not gone back up because I guess it needs a good review. And
So you're saying if I were to hop on there right now and make it a good review, it would just move it?
I don't know.
Like if we get 100 people to do that, would it do it?
Guys, BRB.
And the debate's over.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I think we've realized how to
Yeah.
make this a win.
But anyway,
No,
okay.
so-
I just went, okay. So they're both on 90.
Who knows how it works? It's the algorithm, right?
Right.
That's 2022. It's
The
always
Matrix
algorithm.
has it now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we've divided the room into 2 teams, me and Charles versus Martin and Jimmy. This is the first time we're doing this, so whatever happens, we're sorry. And we'll tweak it as we go. You've already realized that's part of how we work here. Movie magic. You make a mistake, and it's just succession training.
That's right.
That's right.
You fire the interns and you get new ones the next day.
So how I thought we were going to do this was simply we'll go through all 4 categories, which are story. The story, is it entertaining? Is it fun? What does it do? Is it a style of a story?
Yes.
Was that story conveyed? Does it do a good job? Characters.
Yeah.
Do they all get along? Do they all not get along? How do they play with each other? Casting. Those who were in charge of doing these things. You want to talk about the director. You want to talk about just the actors, whatever. But who was cast to do what thing and why that might make it better or worse. And then lastly, as we've mentioned previously, the zhuzh.
Yeah.
And none of us know how to spell it, but it means that thing, that feeling, that idea.
Je ne sais quoi.
The je ne sais quoi. I made it. Is that what it is?
Sure.
Is it zhuzh short for je ne sais quoi?
I mean, is that even a real word?
No.
No, I don't even. Well, actually, I think that's French.
Yeah,
But
probably.
point is that there's cultural references. Anything that you can argue. There is no right or wrong answer because both of these films actually have, after we watch Paddington 2, is kind of.
But
Did you feel good?
I smiled.
There you go.
I wouldn't say I felt good after watching Citizen.
Well, yeah, when I'm sad, I smile. That's what I do.
I personally was laughing at the end of Citizen Kane. It was fucking hilarious. So.
I was like, that's hilarious. She almost killed herself. She's fed up with this asshole she's married to. Ha ha ha.
Aren't we all there?
So,
Welcome to reality.
so Martin, what do you think we should start with today? Like, what out of the 4? I think we should save the zhuzh stuff for the end because that's the really good shit, right? That'll be the je ne sais quoi, so to speak. So where do you think we should poke a hole in this?
You know what, Mike? It wouldn't be the real debate. I was telling Jimmy, it wouldn't be the real debaters if someone didn't misinterpret the rules. So I did not read any of the rules. Whatever you want, because whatever you talk about, I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what I wrote, what I talked about. So
literally, the way I brainstormed this in my head is whichever way we start this, you're taking the lead for our team.
Okay. All right.
And I'm just going to riff off of what you talk about.
I feel I should have pumped.
I have
bulked
stuff.
up
Don't
first.
you get me wrong.
Structure.
Too much structure.
Oh, those who don't like structure, who clearly didn't play. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I don't like it because I didn't.
Rules are stupid.
It's a popularity
Rules
contest.
are dumb.
All right. Okay. Let's start off with the casting. Makes sense. Which is the perfect place to start. Now, me and Charles have picked Citizen Kane, and I know that if anybody's listening to this and they look into it, it doesn't take much to Google. Is the fact that the majority of these actors had never been on screen before. Like, it is a known thing that they were taken from
because cameras didn't exist.
No, it's because they all did radio, right? They were all radio voices.
Because
like,
TVs didn't exist.
So, like, Orson Welles, what do you guys know the 1938 War of the Worlds story about how
Yes.
everybody who tuned into War of the
Indeed.
Worlds thought it was a real alien invasion?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that amazing?
People
Aren't you
started
a good
panicking and
narrator
shit.
if that's...
Your
Oh, yeah.
generation thought Y2K was going to happen.
That's
Don't give me
true.
that.
Yeah, no, I know. We got scared
Dude.
over a 1 or a 0.
For the longest time, they didn't tell us Terminator was a movie.
Yeah, we thought it was just like an inconvenient truth.
Yeah. It would be a PSA, man. Before they would like show you something in school, they just show like some
it
Skynet
said
footage. and you're
present
like,
day Los Angeles.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. They
Right?
just changed the... Yeah.
They're like, kids, you guys do drugs? You know what happens when you do drugs? And they just show us Skynet stuff. We're like, holy fuck.
I fucking
So in
hate you.
Y2.
Gee, I think you just blew up over there, Jimmy.
That was really funny.
Yeah, no, teachers, they would wheel in the VCR.
The projector.
The projector, sorry, the projector. And then they'd be like, oh,
This is from the future, kids.
Yeah, this is...
Your future if you do drugs.
And then
God damn
we'd
it.
practice the air raids and the bomb shelters. And I'm just trying to bring up my list.
Take out
of
your
everybody who was-
CPUs. Destroy your
who was-
floppy disk.
Okay, so anyway, so my point is, first of all, that the cast that played into this were all new. But that is why this movie's so fucking fantastic, because there's so much on the line for them. Like, Orson Welles never directed, never starred in, never produced, never wrote a movie before. Was courted to do so, right? I think Dorothy Comagore, who plays Susan Alexander Kane, his wife, throughout the majority of the movie. Also, Charlie Chaplin Discovery, a nobody.
Yes.
Prior to. So it's not so much that I can argue casting. I can't. Like, against Paddington 2,
Yeah.
there are records of what we've seen all these actors do, like the female, the mom or the aunt, what's her name, who was in The Shape of Water.
Oh, Sally Hawkins.
Yeah,
Sally Hawkins,
I can
yeah.
tell you, you can point to a ton of things that show why Sally Hawkins has the chops, right?
Mhm.
I can't argue any of these people because
Damn right.
it's the golden age of cinema. It's the birth of cinema. But what I can argue is I can say, okay, for a movie that's so well regarded, it's a perfect out of the gate. It's your perfect racehorse. It's so weird to watch people who don't know how to stand in front of each other and act from radio and do it on camera.
Then
Like
answer me this, Michael.
okay, go ahead.
If all of these actors from Citizen Kane are so great, why are they all dead?
They
Why are
didn't
they
have
all-
blood boys yet back then. Man.
Yeah, we
Why are
did.
they all fucking dead, Mike?
We didn't have today's medical enhancements.
That's right.
We they didn't have holograms
Yeah,
back then to
also
Because
continue them.
they're real.
How do you expect me to argue death?
Well,
Like,
I'll just say the CGI in Paddington 2 is phenomenal. I don't think there's any CGI in your movie.
no, there's no requirement for CGI
That's
in my
right.
movie because I have real people, right? Like, not to
it's
say that
real.
Paddington doesn't need real people.
They
It
couldn't
does,
even get a
though.
bear.
It
But-
does, though, because it's only real people.
have real
and
British
except the
family.
bear.
How long has it been? Did you guys watch it this week, or are you like Martin and Jimmy? Like, how long has it been since you've seen it?
I've seen enough Simpsons references that I've seen Citizen Kane.
The fact that you
seen
even
Citizen
mentioned that
Kane.
is
I
just
don't
helping
plan
us.
to watch it. I only know about Citizen Kane through The Simpsons, like Jimmy said. Simpsons references.
I wasn't born in
That's the only thing I know.
1930 or whenever.
Oh, you guys are missing
Or
such a
whatever.
trend. Like, it's
Or whatever.
You know, can I just tell you? It's like
Get 'em.
what's it? Two Girls, One Cup.
That's right.
I know it's out there. I know it exists, but I don't need to see it.
It's
Do
perfect.
I don't need. I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna bother.
But
oh my God.
everything
That's right.
about what these actors like.
It's not for me.
There is a thing that I want to say so badly that I know Charles has, but I will wait until he's going to deliver that giant bomb on you. But and how Orson Welles just did like a 360 backflip in his grave, going, "You're comparing my film to shit eating."
I was Unicron.
No, but like everything that is how a lot of today's actors emulate on film is from these actors of the day, like
You said it,
the
baby.
close-up, the lighting style, all of these actors.
Reflection.
Yeah, reflection.
Nobody filmed that before, man.
No, you
That's
didn't
crazy.
see like so. What you?
I think when he described a pan shot, people are like, "What? The camera will move?" And he's
No,
like, "Yeah,
everything moves
you're
in the
gonna
camera.
move towards it, and then we'll move as you're moving." And they're like, "What?
It's
like-
it's unheard of. To,
Witchcraft."
So
Orson
while
Welles
I
was a witch.
while I will say for characters that there is not much there. Let me just point out what is to love.
There's not even a
about
fucking
everybody.
Kane in Citizen Kane.
Does he have a limp? He does have a limp though. He broke his ankle
No,
on
he gets a
set.
Cane. He gets a cane later on in the movie.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
he
The
gets old.
Kane from
Charlie.
Citizen Kane.
Charlie.
Wait a
That's
minute.
right. It's the cane from Citizen Kane.
Joseph Cotton as Jedediah Leland, which is his best friend. His commandant, his reporter buddy.
That's right.
I liked him.
Right.
He was a good Robin.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
he's
Chris O'Donnell?
no. But like he's his reporter best friend who works at the newspaper he
I'll
owns.
stop. I won't stop until I get the answer.
Yeah, you know, and
he's
like
a go-getter.
He's willing to protect him and insulate him.
A
like
Jimmy
he's-
Olsen type.
I was gonna say he's
Yeah.
a very Jimmy
Yeah,
Olsen.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I love that about him.
Who's this Rosebud man?
Yeah,
okay?
man, who's-
Know about any whores he's been with, man?
Dorothy Comagore, who plays Susan Alexander, like she's a Marilyn Monroe before Monroe, right? Like
She's good. She's good.
She has that
Her
tenacity.
first performance on screen is wild.
And like being discovered by a silent
Yeah.
actor, like just
Yeah.
on the cusp of sound coming in. Like,
Yeah.
Like, how did
she's-
he even tell her?
Well, he puts his fingers
Carrier
in his
pigeon.
ears, and then
I
and then he's like,
see.
"She can act."
Yeah. That's the casting couch for Charlie.
That's just, yeah. He's
Let
like,
me-
"But
let
how
me
are
just-
they like this?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Bring the camera in. I'll close my ears.
Charlie liked to fuck.
Orson Welles is just the mold for a leading man.
Stupid name.
It's it's such a good name.
It's a stupid name.
It's legend.
It's
Orson?
legend.
Fuck
Okay,
out
so
of
You guys know Orson Welles, and you haven't even seen that. So that says it alone.
yeah, like thank you.
You know Orson
I'm
Welles.
not going to
I
step on
love
that point.
Look, I love that he Andy Kaufman style trolled the world or whatever. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
but
that's
like
funny.
stick to pranks, dude. Yeah. Like he should. He
Stay
had
in your
best.
element. Stay in your lane.
If Orson
Don't
Welles
forget
was
the guy with
around,
the dance.
that's right. If Orson Welles was around now, he'd be at best a YouTube prankster.
Which some could say is
You know,
the foundation of media.
But like
he'd be on Impractical Jokers. That's what he would
That's
be.
right.
He'd be on
That's exactly right.
I was Unicron, and you just keep yelling that at people.
He'd be Joe or Murr or whatever.
to your point, I watched the documentary of They'll Love Me When I'm Dead, which is about
Impractical Jokers.
his last film, On the Wind or something, or Behind the Wind.
And he didn't finish it. Is
He
that
never
right?
finished it. And
No.
it's just it looks like a YouTube montage, like some artistic.
Yeah.
It's a movie within a movie. It's
Right.
Inception. It's weird. He
Yeah,
went
he's-
a little. Kooky,
he's old
but,
and yeah.
but I'm
he's
just
old
saying,
and crazy.
as Citizen Kane, he brings the
Transformers.
the megalomania
I mean,
actually, and the
Can I say this too? I was looking at the cast of Citizen Kane.
Hit 'em,
Not
man.
very diverse.
Yeah. Yeah, what the fuck, Mike?
how do I defend the 40s?
Hey,
Not
man.
very that's
Oh,
what I'm saying. It's
one of the
I'll
biggest
give you
things
this.
I
It's
can
a
say-
it's probably a good movie. I'm never gonna see it, but it's not the greatest movie of all time. Like things get better with time. Like
That's right.
the greatest PC of all time wasn't the first computer with the fucking punch cards. Like my laptop right now can blow that thing out of the water.
Fine wine, baby.
You know what I mean? Things get better over time.
If the
Like, you
computer
just
was
perfect the
made by
craft. It's not the
Citizen
greatest
Kane, it
movie of
wouldn't.
all time.
No.
I would disagree
You
with
guys
that
don't
statement.
even have CGI.
It's a good movie, probably
Hey,
influential. But
bottom
not the
line-
greatest
Hang on,
movie
let
of
him
all
talk.
time.
Let him talk, guys. Hang on.
Citizen Kane, he made gold right on his first try. Paddington needed
You
two
used
two
that at the beginning.
times.
We already heard that.
He
Tell
needed
us something different.
But Paddington needed 2 times. He needed 2 tries to
If you
take
look at
off
it this way,
Citizen Kane.
Paddington-
He couldn't do it on his
Okay,
first
hang
try.
on.
The
Cut,
first
cut,
time, the
cut.
audience
Hey.
wanted a second one.
This is what's gonna happen.
I know this is what's going to happen. I got to fucking get a whistle. Okay. I will lay off characters for a second. You argue your actors for a second. Give me, or is it Martin's?
I got 2 words for you.
Okay.
Hugh Grant.
Didn't he like get in
He
trouble
Oscar
for
winner?
prostitution? Wasn't that?
He's not
You
an
want to talk
Oscar
about your
winner.
actors in prostitution, Mike?
Nominated.
No, I don't actually.
I don't. What did he get nominated for? Love Actually?
I can't defend my actors. I don't know what they did. I'm sure they did it.
And they're all dead.
Okay,
Brad.
dead has been used once. Dead has to
All
remain
dead.
dead.
Not
Well-
one of them. Is that a coincidence? I think not.
No, it's just time. It's this thing we invented that we have to abide by. Okay, tell me about your actors. Besides
you know
who,
what?
are you
That-
just going to lay on
Oh,
That-
you mean the computer-generated bear?
That bear was such a good actor.
You mean Ben? Ben Winshaw?
Who?
The
Q.
guy Q from James Bond.
I love it. He doesn't. Who?
You mean
Orson Welles?
no? There. Oh, you mean that was CGI? I had no idea. It looked so fluid and good.
I want you to.
They couldn't even
I
use
want you
a
to
real
leave-
bear.
Yeah.
Orson Welles would have used a real bear.
Orson Welles would have been the bear.
He would have became a bear.
He would have become. You would have figured out makeup and become a bear.
That's right. Your movie didn't even have CGI.
No, it
didn't need it.
But it did.
It
Probably
didn't-
could have used a
It
spruce
didn't
up.
need the layup of CGI.
Who's even in Paddington
Didn't even
too?
have
Like
color.
it's Hugh Grant, Ben Winshaw, Sally Hawkins,
Some guy from Downton Abbey. I think
Hugh
he plays
Bonneville.
one of the
Hugh
butlers.
Bonneville. That's from Downton
You
Abbey.
Brendan
Get the fuck
Gleeson,
out of here.
Jim
Downton Abbey
Broadbent.
is awesome.
Hey, I
Do
knew
not talk down on Downton
I knew
Abbey. Good
Downton
show.
Abbey before I knew his name.
Peter
That's got to mean something.
Peter Capaldi, Richard, Iode.
Attenborough?
I can't remember.
Hatton-
He's the guy from The Watch with the glasses.
Oh, he's from the IT crowd. Richard
Yeah.
Attenborough. Isn't it
No.
Richard Attenborough?
No.
You're thinking of David Attenborough.
I'm thinking of David Attenborough. Yeah.
This isn't a nature documentary.
Fuck, I know what you're talking about though.
Thank-
yeah,
yeah.
the IT.
He's
They
crowd.
also
are
in it.
amazing. We can talk about those.
Brendan
Another.
Gleeson is in it.
Yeah,
That's true.
Um,
and they're all still alive.
Okay, get off the alive
that
bit
can't
here.
be a factor.
That can't be a factor. What are
Something
the,
we could do?
Was that in the ground rules?
I don't know. I'll throw a
guess
challenge out
that's
here.
fair.
Like I think all of your actors
Listen.
played behind Paddington. Like
If
there's
your
not much
movie-
there.
If your movie's so goddamn great, why no Citizen Kane 2? I think
Because it doesn't need it.
there's arguments to be made that Terminator 2 is better than Terminator,
Sure.
that Aliens is better than Alien,
Yep.
and Paddington 2 is
Godfather
better than
Part 2.
Paddington.
The Godfather Part 2. Emperor
Exactly.
Strikes Back.
Citizen Kane is
Sure,
so
but then
bad.
you have other movies that don't need a sequel.
Where's
Road,
the Kane trilogy?
Road to Perdition? You don't need another
But you know how
one for
hard
that.
it is for a sequel to be better than the original? Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the hardest things
That's
to do in
what
Hollywood.
brings
I would
it
say even
above
making a
that
perfect
level.
movie is harder than, like, if it's
Or
a sequel,
being
that's
like,
harder.
hey, what if I made such a perfect movie I didn't need a sequel? Oh, I guess that's
It
Citizen
can't be
Kane.
done. Roger Ebert even gave it 4 stars out of 5. He thinks that your movie's not perfect. And
Exactly.
then
Boom.
he died.
Fucking
And then he died.
And then he died. And then his
You
weird
give
whoever's
it-
running his website.
Wait, did he really give it 4 out of 5?
He did. And then whoever
Wow.
runs
What did
his
he give
website now-
Paddington to?
He didn't, because he
Oh.
died.
Well, he didn't even
He
didn't
died.
even
Probably
rate
so
it.
fine, though.
Your movie was so bad he didn't even rate it.
I love how we're getting chewed out for
argue-
Ours
for,
at least got 4. How many did
for
yours get?
classism, and he's an ageist over here. It's like they're all dead. They're useless. How dare their art live on in
All I'm
infamy?
saying is
I
you
didn't know
guys
they died
even
from old
said
age.
you guys even said that you saw enough of Citizen Kane through The Simpsons. Without
Yeah.
Citizen Kane, you wouldn't have The Simpsons.
It
You
was a
wouldn't have
sled.
Paddington. You wouldn't have any of it. So you're welcome, Citizen Kane. You're welcome.
Okay, all right.
There's movies
See, can I-
older
I
than
just wanna
Yeah,
say,
hang
I
on,
feel
hang on,
like
hang on.
People
Yep.
who like Citizen Kane are like people who are wine snobs. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I taste notes of earthy notes with a little bit of peaches. No, fuck, I drink it to get drunk. Like,
Drink
I'm
it,
not,
asshole.
I'm not gonna pretend that I'm in the movies and I know a lot of stuff. Like, that's not me. That's who
right.
I think people like Citizen Kane. That's what it is. It's just a bunch of wine snobs. That's not for me. That's not the movie I want to see. I want to see a bear eating fucking marmalade. That's what
right.
I want.
I
Okay.
think, I
That's
think
what
people
makes me
are going to
happy.
do Citizen Kane to get drunk because they hear it's the best and the best gets you drunk, so they'll do it.
That's not even true. The worst gets you drunk.
Yeah.
It gets you drunk faster.
People go to the wine fest and spit out their wine. They don't even drink it. They spit it out.
I enjoy
That's people who like
chocolate.
Citizen Kane.
That's you guys right now.
Okay, Martin. What?
Dark chocolate's
The
gross.
1%. That's who likes Citizen Kane. The 1%.
The
I'm
one-
part of that party. That's not me. I'm with the 99, baby. I stand with the 99.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I like that bear, but without Citizen Kane, there'd be no bear.
Like the thing
Don't
is that okay, you can see enough Simpsons references and understand its story, but you don't have the ability to make what you've made without what was made that day with that film. So you don't have to like this.
That's the only thing that was made on Paddington too.
See,
No.
but once again, we're arguing that it's the greatest movie of all time. It's not the greatest. It's a very influential movie. It's probably a good movie, but is it the greatest? No, because things get better
Oh,
over
so it's-
time.
we're
Like, you
arguing if
perfect the
it's-
craft.
No, we're arguing which is better. We're not arguing if it's the greatest.
We're arguing which one.
Well,
is
I think
better.
it's kind
that's
of
what we were
both.
arguing. The Rotten Tomatoes
I'd
article
argue
said
that
the
it's
greatest
both.
movie of all time was.
Well, no, it was always revered as the greatest movie of all time and lived on everyone's list in the top 1. And it is the 100%. It's when it was dropped. How does the best movie of all time
Hey man, off the record, it's never been my top. 10.
get taken? Yeah, it's I've never
Yeah.
like
This is
I'm
on the
fully
record.
On the record,
guys.
Citizen Kane is only the top. 10.
I'm
I give
fully.
you guys props. You guys are probably arguing the harder one, like the harder.
Oh,
movie.
we got fucked.
We're having fun with ours.
Yeah,
Like
we-
I haven't even talked about anything I wrote
Dude.
down yet.
Oh, ours was like from the minute I started doing
Like, props
research
to
on
you
it, I
guys,
was like,
you
damn
know,
it, this is
putting
all.
aside, props to you guys for taking that on because I'm like, I'm not.
It
doing
felt
Citizen
like a
Kane.
research project. Like it felt like
Oh
you
my
know what I
God.
mean. Like I mean it in a good way, but it was like fuck, man. Like there's so much to Citizen Kane. These guys had to do like 20 minutes. Like when
I-
did they start production? Who did the voice of the? Ours is like Orson Welles kind of based it a bit on his life, which means he shaped cinema. And I'm like, okay.
Well, and it's
Fuck.
like Paddington. Like I was gonna say to you, I was looking into its historical references, and like Orson Welles and Citizen Kane are based on William Randolph Hearst, which is one of the first yellow journalists, one of the first
Publication
publication
guys.
guys, right? He was
Yes.
anti hemp
Right.
because it was cheaper than paper,
That's right.
and he wrote a whole he attacked the hemp industry so that he could stay alive, and that's basically why pot has been so like just crucified over
Right.
the years, is because of this guy. And like if you look at his life and you look at the beats in the movie about like divorce
Yeah.
and crime and politics and all of the themes that run through it, it's completely a carbon copy of William Randolph Hearst's early
See,
life.
Paddington 2, original story.
Well, then I was but I was gonna say, but like how
Well,
many
based on
Jimmy.
stories.
Yeah,
That are
well,
original stories.
like if
but-
you can if you can show me how your movie and
Yeah.
Marmalade can change political ideas in people, then I'll believe it. But like that's what's so brilliant about Citizen Kane in its love of it, is its staying power. It still has
He's also like, there's so much of Citizen Kane where I'm like, this is Lex Luthor, this is Tony
yeah,
Stark.
it's every
This is
first
like-
bad guy.
And
It's-
some of his dialogues were actually, even till this day, I was kind of blown away with. I'm just as someone who likes film. Some of the dialogues are actually really good.
it is
Like it's witty.
Doug,
For
remember
40s, I'm
when
like,
we interviewed Doug Jimmy?
Fuck.
And Doug looked at me and he's like, "Have you ever seen Citizen Kane?" And I said, "Not since I was a kid." I felt like an absolute buffoon watching this because it is everything that we love now
Yeah.
is in
Yeah.
Citizen Kane and how it was like the fact that they're telling a story from multiple different perspectives over time with the same actors changing in and out
Yeah,
of their
makeup
younger
and
and older
wardrobe and
roles.
stuff. Yeah.
All the movies at the time were here's where we start, here's where we're going, and here's where we end. Everything that Paddington 2 is with the little flashback at the beginning, you wouldn't be able to make a flashback to Uncle Pustavo or whatever his name was rescuing him. You can't have that flashback
That's
scene
Citizen
without
Kane's Rosebud.
Citizen
That's
Kane.
Paddington's Rosebud. moment.
Yeah.
It was his sled. It was his sled from when he was a kid.
And
Just
Paddington,
say
it was
did.
his Paddington. It was Papa. It
I'm
was
just-
being in the forest.
I'm just
Papa.
saying, like that. It has to
Get
start.
Out of here. You guys sound very English right now. Get off your ivory tower. Come back down with us, the people. Like you guys are in your high horse. Like that's what it's sounding like. When this
No,
episode
I
airs,
get.
You're gonna hear yourself like, man, I sound like a dick.
Using your big
My
bear words.
movie changed lives.
But at the same time, though, when you do, like, I can look at
At
it.
the end of the day, Michael, like when I watch a movie, what does it do? Do I enjoy it? Does it make me feel good? that's what Paddington did, and I don't think if I watch Citizen Kane, I have no interest in watching because I don't think it'll do that for me.
But
Get
the
'em.
only
Get
reason
'em.
you even have feelings from watching anything is because of Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane didn't give me
It
feelings.
started feelings. People didn't feel anything before that.
Guys,
Well, I think then if
God
we
damn
could
it.
argue that if we didn't have, only reason we have Citizen Kane is because we have the written word. I mean, is that not the
yeah, no,
greatest
he's
thing of all
right.
time
He's
then?
right.
True,
Like-
but we're not discussing that. We're discussing Citizen Kane versus Paddington 2.
No whataboutism. Nobody. Okay.
Can we read the bad review for Citizen Kane?
Yeah, let me see.
You
if I
have
can
that?
find
Like,
it, yeah.
you have the review that knocked it off? That's going
'Cause
to be
that's-
great.
This movie fucking sucked.
I had to watch this movie in my fucking film class, and it's bullshit. It's not even in color.
I took my girlfriend to this, and I didn't even get a
I love how
hand
we
job.
all immediately assume it's a bro. Some bro's like, fuck this stupid fucking movie. Where's the color in it? It's,
I put my dick in the popcorn, the butter was too hot and burnt my dick.
I swear to God, I got the 4K HD, but it's not even in color. This is bullshit. I was lied
Was
to.
this made in 4x3?
It doesn't even fill up my screen. It's bullshit.
4x3.
Is this a Zack Snyder movie?
Fucking 3D glasses, bro. I didn't even get to use my 3D glasses.
I liked 300
I
better.
will say.
I'll admit to Martin
I-
that it doesn't, like, at the end of Citizen Kane, I was sad. Like, I did not feel any sort of joy. I was like, you know what? I said to him, I said, Donald Trump must have watched this as campaign fodder to get like pumped up. No, because it's a guy who's like, I'm going to control how people think because I'm going to write news that's
But what's worse
hysteria.
is he
And-
actually started off good.
He was good.
though. That's what's worse. Is like it's harder to watch because
nothing's black and white.
he just starts off like as like that's what I mean. Is the beginning you're like, yeah, everything he's saying, like, fuck yeah, screw corporations, this and that. And that's what the whole lesson is it ends and it's
See,
like, oh, he
Paddington
became
2,
the worst.
Paddington never.
He never lost
He
his
never
heart.
stabs you in the back.
He never loses his love.
That's right.
It's if
Never
Orson
loses
Welles,
a
if
step, Paddington.
Citizen Kane
Only
had the
wants to help
love,
people. Only wants to help people.
That's
if
right.
Charles Foster Kane had the love that Paddington so effortlessly always
Take
gives
care
out,
of the spare.
he would have been a better. He even says, my favorite line of the whole movie is, if I was anything but as rich as I am, I think I would have been happy or a good man.
That's
I think is what he says.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite lines. of the
Well,
whole
and
movie.
it is. He's
It is.
bought.
It is, yeah.
He's bought as
He's
a
literally
child.
bought old. What's sad is he's not even bought as a baby where he's like, I don't know. He's bought old enough to know he's being bought.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's going on? And his
Downer
parents are like,
ending.
you're going to go on a train.
Ima-
And they just keep telling him, you're going to be on a train one day and you're
Well-
going to live with this man.
Imagine if Paddington was adopted by them. Or like sold.
So
to them.
He would have been
the main thing-
Hang on,
performing
guys.
in
Martin,
Vegas.
hang on, guys.
Child
Hey, cut.
trafficking?
What was that, Martin?
It was the beginning
hang
of
on,
job
hang on.
trafficking.
Let Martin go.
Oh, I was just saying that one of the themes of Citizen Kane is child trafficking.
That's a theme.
It's terrible.
I mean, it kind of is.
It's not- well, no,
It's not
because-
trafficking. It's child personal sale.
Yeah, he's part of a sale because they found gold on the property. That
He doesn't want all the
he's-
kids. He just wants that one.
Yeah, and then that guy, Mr. Thatcher, basically makes Charles, like, turns him into this guy of
Turns him into
fortune and like, I mean,
It's basically like, I don't have an heir, so I want to buy a kid so I can make a little me. And he does, but then that little him becomes better than
which is
Simpsons did it.
which is There Will Be Blood.
Simpsons did it, you bastard. Yes,
Simpsons did it.
But that's also There Will Be Blood.
That is There Will Be Blood.
That's Daniel Plainview
It's
with
Too long
Bastard
of
in
a
the
title.
Basket.
right, and Paul Thomas Anderson. Like, I have a list of
And
the directors, right? Like, it's just the directors that owe all the credit to their careers of every little thing they've tried to take from Citizen Kane, because
Well-
it's just different. And I'll tell you what the review is, because you asked that. So I don't have the full thing, but what it does say is, she said it's interesting, it's different. In fact, it's bizarre enough to become a museum piece, but its sacrifice of simplicity to eccentricity robs it of distinction and general entertainment value.
Who is this
Yeah,
person?
that sounds like
I'm
somebody
in
that
love.
would fucking love Citizen Kane. She's lying. She's lying to herself.
So, all right, the Chicago Tribune's negative Citizen Kane review was published under the pseudonym May Tiny and accomplished with the headline, Citizen Kane fails to impress critic as greatest ever filmed. And now here's what's interesting. This is from 1941. Like, cinema's only like 20 years old maybe at
Boom.
this time.
Get fucked.
Like hey, I've realized how this has morphed into something. I'm just going with the flow here. Like,
yeah.
You can't run out the gate and say it's the best ever, but you can compare it to, okay, how many films can I find that everybody's like, yeah, I'm copying Orson Welles.
Now, I have a more...
How's Paddington 2 tracing Orson Welles, Martin?
It's still a very new movie, Mike. Who knows? Maybe 30 years down the road, Paddington 2 will be in the museum. It's still early.
And if it is, I hope it's next to Citizen Kane. And that's our finishing touch, right?
Yes, right?
Yeah, that's our finishing touch.
They both get a
there.
second place medal.
You have a statue of Paddington with the cane from Citizen Kane, and it comes full circle.
And like I don't know,
Citizen Pain.
Was there any like drama making Paddington 2? Like, did the CGI bear not show up one day, or?
No, because it was a perfect movie.
Hugh Grant wasn't caught with any prostitutes on set or anything.
Yeah,
like
no behind the scenes, no BT.
He was clean.
He was clean. He had to drug test every day.
Sex work is work.
Well, yeah.
Can you guys agree that it's just kind of a simple kid story, though? Like, for what it's doing, like, are we even able to say, like, for the sake of the argument here, are we even able to say it deserves a 99?
I am giving up no ground to you. It deserves 100 and nothing less.
Now, this is a legit question.
Yeah.
Did they ever do a Paddington 3?
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
I talk about that.
Oh,
it's
it's coming.
Sorry, I talk about that in the juice. So when we get to the juice part, like the bullshit part, that's me. That's all me.
Oh, I think we're at the bullshit part.
We're
already.
at it. I think we're at the free for all part.
Yeah, this didn't. Yeah,
you
we didn't
just
find
go
it.
for it.
Yeah, let's all go around the room and share a thing from the judge.
Paddington, Paddington Trinity, Paddington Trilogy.
Jimmy, I got this.
You take it.
This is okay.
I got this. So I'm gonna say Paddington. Bear loves marmalade. Who doesn't love that? You know who? Fascists. Fascist animals of choice is crocodiles that eat small animals.
Get 'em.
Are you a fascist? I'm not. I love bears that eat marmalade. The audience couldn't get enough, so they made a second. Like I said, sequels are rarely better than the originals. That's a hard thing to do. It joins the great movies like The Godfather Part 2 and Empire Strikes Back. Great. Also, I read on Reddit that Paddington might be joining the MCU. Disney Plus is making a show where Paddington teams up with Rocket, Loki Gator, and Hank McCoy as Beast, and they travel in their large cargo ship, which is a big yellow school bus that can travel the multiverse. Did Citizen Kane get an MCU spot? I don't think so.
He built that ship, though.
Is any of this true? I can't confirm or deny if it's true, but Anon8282 on Reddit seems like a very stand-up individual.
His leaks have been very good before.
Yeah, I think I mean, if you
Just
guys,
Paddington in the MCU, I'd watch that. I'd watch that show.
he's just like.
Oh, Mike, don't be a fascist, Mike. Side with us. Side with democracy and freedom.
I've had it with bears.
I don't know if it's life cynicism. Like,
Come
I mean,
on, Mike, get up on the stage with me and punch a Nazi.
My biggest beef with Paddington is that it's okay for him to walk around with just a coat, but if any of us do,
I can't walk around with no pants on.
Bears.
What do
Have
you
you
mean?
ever seen any cartoon bear before?
Yeah. And
No
I don't
pants.
like that
But
I have
he's
to wear
a cartoon
pants.
bear in the real world. You got to play by the real world rules.
Yeah,
buddy.
man.
Winnie the Pooh didn't wear pants in Christopher Robin.
Right, and he gets arrested at the end of
No,
every
he
episode.
doesn't.
It's in the end credit trailer.
All right, you dumb bear, get in the car. Get in the car, you
Pooh.
fucking bear.
Where's Winnie the Pooh from? Southern Ontario.
Well, wasn't he originally a Winnipegger?
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually.
There you go.
So frig off.
Yeah.
Case closed. Get in the car.
Well, and
get in the car.
And like it, he really doesn't like. He's not too self-reliant. He's always kind of.
He's a fucking.
Makes his own marmalade. What are you talking about?
He's a
He
dumb-
makes Aunt Lucy's marmalade. He had
marmalade.
nothing to do in the
He's a
crafting
dumb
of that
cute
recipe.
bear. He's a dumb cute bear.
That it's the Shakespearean thing, right? When you have
Right.
the puppy in the play and everything's
Yeah.
funnier. Like
Yeah.
I feel that like I'm not.
I just won't love.
I want
He's
to.
not dumb. He's got that childlike innocence, which is
Right,
so
sorry,
lovable
he's
in,
not-
in the movie.
That's
Like,
right.
How
He's
do you
not
not
dumb.
love that?
'Cause
Like
he
I
is
said,
smart.
you
I
know
agree.
Who doesn't love
No,
that?
I-
Fascists.
Yeah.
I love how fascism and dead people are the winning items of this.
Yeah. Oh, your
Like,
movie
hey,
is.
I mean,
Never
our
mind.
actors can give interviews about our movie. I haven't seen any about yours.
Well, they're there. You just have to read them.
Yeah, they're just fine tuning.
Nah.
They're just fine tuning the hologram.
Go to your local library and ask for
Talking
the
about reading, I
microfilm.
thought we weren't talking about reading in this one. We're only talking about watching stuff. Reading, we can't do that.
Touche.
Can't do that.
What was your budget? Mine was 825,000. Supposed to be 729. Did yours go over at all?
I mean, how did they even get it made?
Well, you want to know how they got it made? Here's the cool thing. So, I watched Paddington 2, and I see
a lot of Citizen Kane.
I will lay down my sword for a second, and I will agree with Martin that it made me smile.
$40 million.
$40 million. Okay, that's a fucking expensive orange to make marmalade. But my point is that I lost my point. Fuck.
It made almost $200 million.
Oh, my budget. No, my budget in that Orson Welles started filming a month before he said he'd start filming, so that he could film what he wanted without any studio notes, without anybody from RKO Pictures getting involved, right?
Right.
And we all know that we've bitched about it before, when the studio gets involved, then
RKO out of nowhere.
Right, RKO'd it right out.
RKO.
That's what it should be called. When the studio comes into the room, are we getting RKO'd again?
RKO.
So, I just think that the him lying to RKO basically and being like, we're just doing camera tests. We're
Nobody
actually
had
not.
to lie to get Paddington 2 made.
No, but that's like
we could have Paddington 3 by now if they did that.
I'm not saying a studio movie can't convey joy and you can have fun in it, but I see a studio movie, I see like a very rigid thing.
Oh, yeah. Producers don't have joy.
Well, also at this time, again,
you have joy 18 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Nobody made a movie at this scale before, so they also, I'm sure Orson could say things and they're like, what?
Orson never made a movie before.
Yeah, right.
Orson never picked up a camera.
Hey, by the way, so in Citizen Kane, it's the Inquirer that he takes over. And is not the Inquirer now the one that's like, Osama bin Laden's still alive, living here? And they have that's the one, right?
It's Weekly World News.
I couldn't stop laughing because
I thought that was funny, too.
That was so funny. So it's like if I made this huge drama and it's like Mad Magazine.
Hey.
It's like Mad Magazine will be the best magazine you've ever seen. And
yeah, no, it was very
you
much.
You know what I mean? It was just really kind of funny because I'm like, the Inquirer was the crazy tabloids you read at the grocery store at the checkout that you're like, and Men in Black. I think that's the magazine they reference where they're like, this is where we get all our tips for aliens. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll even say too, I agree that Citizen Kane is.
What do they call it, the tabloids? Like that type of
Yeah.
But to Martin's point, it is hubbub. It is filmmaker.
It totally is.
People
drop Citizen Kane to just be like, I'm a film person.
Like you can't, and I totally see how that is.
Yeah. We've swayed him, Martin.
Well, I'm just saying, like any good debate, you see both sides of the argument, right? Like
Paddington.
No ground is being given. How much money?
Still not moving.
How much money did yours make, huh?
All of it. It still makes all the money now.
I don't know how much it actually made.
As the first movie ever to be a masterpiece, it just makes money.
It actually made 3 straw pennies.
We bought a farm.
We bought a farm with our movie money.
Yeah. I know it's been re-released 7 times. It was released in 55. It was re-released in 82,
D-Box.
86. IMAX.
You know the
actually, it was in IMAX.
Oh!
Well, our movie made $230 million. So. I mean,
wait, but we didn't put inflation, so ours made like what, $1 trillion?
$1 trillion.
Yeah, we're counting for all the
all
residuals. Yeah, yeah, the ruble maybe not so much right now, but in general, all currencies.
That's the one mistake that your movie made over ours is our movie didn't release in Russia, and yours definitely did. Actually, you guys want to hear something funny that Claudia's like, maybe you can fit this into the debate somehow. I'm like, this is a more fun fact. But the current president of Ukraine is the voice of Paddington in the Ukraine.
Yes,
release.
No, it is. That is a confirmed truth.
Yeah.
So Zelensky is.
Yeah,
Paddington.
she came in and she's like, "Can you use that against him?" I'm like, I wouldn't want to.
I think that's in our favor.
No, that's in his favor.
No, totally,
it's totally in his favor.
We won.
Because you know what? They hate fascists. Like I said.
That's right.
But that is pretty funny. I thought that was pretty cool. We
that?
saw the trailer in Ukraine. It was funny.
We should have kept track of points. We should have been like, do we all agree on this? Because we still wouldn't have any points. He doesn't want.
No, like I said, it's just like a one. Everyone gets a spot on the board. But Jimmy and I are for sure in the Hall of Fame tonight.
I love that you called that even before we started the episode that you guys get the Hall of Fame one. That's great. But in all honesty, in terms of research, Michael, you win.
Thanks. Well, that's just the things that I was like.
You guys get the nerdies award.
The nerdies award. Well, we would be remiss to not focus on something that is very, very important to Citizen Kane, which is the makeup aspect of it.
I will. Okay, yeah,
Suderman,
that's something that's wild. Wild.
Probably made of lead.
Oh,
They all died from lead poisoning.
That's why they all died.
Yeah, they all died from the makeup.
Full circle.
They actually melted my face to make it look
I
wrinkly.
think we can all agree, though. I think we can all unanimously agree that CGI, yes, is amazing for Paddington. Like, it's very lifelike.
Yeah.
They CGI'd that bear penis away.
Makes every
no
movie
problem.
better.
Right?
Got rid
But
of
like,
the bare butthole too.
look at the makeup. Look at how they were aged and how unbelievably
It's wild.
believable it was.
Even
for
the character work playing older.
orange peel and grease paint, like things that you can't use now.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at the time, now here's the crazy thing about it. Like, did anybody take out a front page ad for your makeup artist? Because there was such drama behind the scenes for Suderman to get credit because he was an apprentice at the time.
Yeah.
And the guy who was on set wouldn't let Suderman in the room unless there was 2 other journeymen and the lead makeup artist. But Suderman did all the work.
Oh.
They just took credit for it. So then Orson Welles went out and took out an ad in the paper and said to the best makeup artist in the world who did all the makeup on Citizen Kane, Maurice Suderman, and like circumvented the studio for giving him credit for it.
And what's crazy about your movie is, as far as I know, none of your actors even met Paddington. They never even got to work with him.
Yeah.
They never
You know
shared
what? There was
scenes.
no drama on the
Stupid.
set. No drama, unlike yours. Had so much drama because it was a perfect movie. Perfectly made, perfectly produced.
Paddington
Everything was
wouldn't
great.
come out of his trailer.
I mean, everything can be perfect if you're not allowed to see your lead actor, I guess.
Yeah, like if he's being hard to work with, it's just marmalade and jerking off all day.
At least
like,
ours took a risk. Marmalade jerk off?
how did that stop there?
How
Wait,
about that marmalade jerk
that's
off?
actually what they were going to call licorice pizza.
Marmalade jerk off.
And have no marmalade or jerking off anywhere near the
but
film.
licorice pizza in it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh.
well, okay.
How do we decide who won?
So you guys didn't
Yeah.
watch Citizen Kane? Just to
No.
reiterate? Oh, that's great.
No,
That's
never.
awesome.
Well, like,
I didn't finish it.
see,
Sorry.
I don't.
I watched
I didn't finish it either.
the first time I ever had to watch it was in film school and university. Fucking hated it. Like, I could appreciate that it was filmed innovatively, but I hated it. I watched it this time. Definitely could appreciate it more. But yeah, like by half an hour left,
yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I get it.
It's a Wonderful
It's
Life
done.
is better.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's
Like,
not French.
Paddington 2 did keep me from beginning to end.
See, I didn't finish Paddington 2. I rented it this morning and was like, you know what? Here's what I did.
rented it?
Like, I had to watch.
You bend the knee to them?
Yeah, no, I did.
Oh.
I spent money on theirs.
That's
And the
nuts.
knee, Michael.
But like, they have said on record that they didn't need to watch Citizen Kane because Simpsons has enough Citizen
Yeah,
Kane.
it's very
Okay,
true.
great, cool. I would just like, before we're done, for them to point out pop cultural references of Paddington in anything,
Right.
so that I wouldn't have to watch Paddington. Like, if there's a
I
place where
will.
Paddington,
Also, I
if
would
there's
very-
another universe that Paddington exists in,
I'd very much say
MCU,
Hugh.
Mike. MCU coming in 2028.
Hugh
Paddington,
Grant's-
MCU, baby.
can
gonna
you
happen.
tell me who the person was that you got that from again?
Hugh Grant's
And on 8282 on Reddit.
Anon, I love it.
Hugh Grant's character is very much Mr. Thatcher. in
Yes,
Citizen
like
Kane.
you have things in yours that are always grounded, are always pulled from in ours, right? And it's not to say that it's a bad film, but you just have things that were done at a time. Hubbub aside, fine wine aside, yes, those points are very true.
That
but
I will say too. That fucking
it's
jail.
maverick filmmaking.
That jail dance scene is pretty goddamn cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah, it was really good.
Damn right.
That was really
Watching them make marmalade together, and
Yeah, it was pretty good.
He's like, one sack at a time.
I do-
Brendan Gleeson, like Martin said, Brendan Gleeson's amazing.
I
in it.
remember reading those books too as a kid, like reading the Paddington Bear books.
Yeah.
It was, it was great. It was good.
You really like.
From the studio that brought you Harry Potter. That was my favorite trailer because I'm like, okay,
Paddington 2 has an official mobile game,
Okay.
so
Citizen Kane was the first mobile game.
you can play that.
Yes, they still have one. It's in black and
You know
white.
that snake game, the first one? That was
Uh,
Citizen Kane.
Paddington Bear was in an M&S Christmas ad.
Okay.
Uh,
Did you know Orson Welles is Unicron?
That doesn't help us. That's how he left Hollywood.
That's a wicked way to leave.
No, it's not.
Unicron was awesome.
Not on
Yeah,
camera.
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I'll give you
man.
that.
I
But
know
that's
Orson
not-
Welles
that's not-
didn't
that's
want
not the.
He's not a nerd. Like, he didn't want that to be his last one. I'm okay with it.
Oh, this documentary I'm watching, I'm just obsessed
Oh,
with.
I was going to ask, did you watch Mank? by
I'm
the way.
going to now.
Yeah,
I tried to watch
now.
it, but you know
I
what?
haven't seen it yet.
I didn't have an appreciation for it.
Same. I
So
didn't
now
care.
that you've seen
but it's
Citizen-
David
yeah.
Fincher,
Yeah.
right? And it's about
It's
the
the
making,
story.
It's the making of it, right?
Yeah.
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 Guys, I'm sorry. I'm having a little trouble finding references. There's just too many articles about how Paddington 2 is better than Citizen Kane.
All written by Reddit user Skinner.
Yeah.
Skinner.
Yeah, you can't.
Each one has another R.
Your
Skinner, and then this one has an extra.
filling in an ask me Reddit question on your own feed and answering it repeatedly
and
doesn't
on
make it right.
A2.
I'm on the wiki page. I'm looking through references. It's all just articles about how Citizen Kane is fucking garbage.
I love that it doesn't even say Paddington 2. It just says Citizen Kane is fucking garbage.
It's on the Paddington 2
Will
Wikipedia.
Paddington 2 in 30 years still be a story that we go, wow, we're still telling that story? Because Citizen Kane, we're still dealing with media manipulation.
Well,
We're
that
still
depends
dealing
how
with-
many Fast and the Furious movies there are in 30
Yeah.
years.
How saturated the market is.
Paddington is Vin Diesel in Fast and the Furious.
Paddington 3 is set to begin shooting in Q2 of 2022.
Okay. So, like, right about now.
Pretty
actually.
much now.
Yeah,
It's
March,
actually
April, May.
just starting. How nice for us.
Yeah.
Is it the same creative team?
Threequel, baby. Yes.
Well, you know, this is where the whole series can go to shit because the third one, you know, that's where
They're going to the West.
Yeah. If the
They're
sequel,
going to-
if the sequel outpaces, if this is your Return of the Jedi, you're fucked.
They are.
Paddington goes to West London.
My God.
What if he becomes a hooligan? It's like Green Street
Soccer
Hooligans.
hooligan?
Yeah, it's Green Street Hooligans with Paddington.
Yeah.
You've never seen Paddington raw like this.
I loved watching Paddington do his thing when it was
Yeah.
just Paddington. And he's
Also,
like, I'm
can-
gonna be a window washer.
can
And
we
he would,
just
like,
say
crawl out the
how-
windows? Like that stuff's adorable, but like the other family just weighed the movie down. If it was just the bear being the bear doing bear things, that's
I also
jealous.
love Ben Whishaw as the voice. He's got such a great his accent is just so.
I was disappointed.
It's really nice.
He didn't ask me to. He didn't want to show me how my cell phone has a blow dart in it. Like I was. That voice is so
It's great.
synonymous with Q that
Yeah.
I'm like, just do it. And there's a Matrix shot in Paddington.
Yeah.
when he's on the train.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
He's using the crab apples.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
falls down and he's like
Yeah.
There are
You're
some.
winning our argument for us.
Hey, listen. Martin said we all got a point, so I can win your argument for you.
Are we just going by like fan voting? What are we gonna do?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we all agree that there's a tie in this room. We're not.
Martin,
there's
you
no
gotta
ground has been made. on
Martin
this
should
diplomatic
message that
commission.
Reddit user, and that Reddit user has to decide. They're the deciding factor.
Agreed.
And what is it? Aeon A2.
Anon 8282.
Can you seriously do that? And if it happens, send a picture. Otherwise,
It'll be like Martin's been booted from Reddit.
Otherwise, on this episode, go to the Podchaser app.
Yeah.
Go anyway. Just go to it because you can rate the show. You can tell us how much something annoys you or makes you happy, and we will respond to it accordingly. and you can also say on episode blank, I think Jimmy should win. I think, well, in this case, I think Kane should win. I think Paddington 2 should win. And at the end of the year,
We'll
tally those up, and then it'll be like an extra.
I'm really worried that Smoking Bob is just going to get all the votes every time.
He wins. That's me.
He's just
I'm
like,
Smoking Bob.
you're Smoking Bob. That's right.
But I think that might be the best. Like we'll leave it up. We'll leave it up for you
Yeah.
out there. So every time you listen to this over the course of 2022, we're just going to tally these up and wait for Anon to pick a winner blind. Like if they don't even listen to the show, just like, we'll send them 30-second clips and you just
Yeah.
got to dig from those.
What
right?
the fuck is Citizen Kane? Okay, yeah, Paddington 2.
Learn the code, boomer.
Yeah. The fucking TV broken? Fuck.
But yeah, so that's
Turn
That's
on the color.
I think that went well. I think we.
That was
I,
fun.
I was
I have all my
great.
teeth.
I had fun. I was
Yeah.
not gonna lie. It was fucking stressing for a bit, but
Well,
it
yeah,
was
I make
fun.
everything stressing with my amount of prep. I'm sorry, I fucked. That's just me putting shit down and do you see how much I didn't?
It
reference?
was just more so because it was just like fuck, man. Like this movie spoke to him.
Well, you know why? I said this to Shauna after. I said, "Listen, we might not be watching a lot together because I want to go through the golden age of cinema. I want to see
Yeah.
and I only want to see how much of what was done then is still used, just in a more digital or technical fashion. Right?
It's definitely it's a very cool, and it's also we're at a very interesting time with how old cinema is and where it's at right now.
Nosferatu came out 100 years ago, like last week.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Right?
That's crazy.
You know,
Nuts.
and
Yeah,
I
just
think we
bonkers.
should kind of.
And it's still referenced till this day all the time.
Like
by me specifically.
what we
and
absolutely
Jared Leto.
That's true.
yeah, what we absolutely love now is because of these films.
No,
right?
and I mean, and that's what it is that bottom line is that as long as cinema is always being celebrated, I mean, it can't go anywhere but get better. It can't go anywhere but up. Man.
Yeah, I want to do
That's
more.
why Paddington 2.
I like
Paddington
this style though. This
2.
format was nice.
Right?
This was great.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was
I like
fun.
it.
And I think it'll get. I love the approach if we take properties that we're not personally attached to, like as much, like say Citizen Kane.
Yeah,
But then
I
when
won't
we-
get married to a
But
property.
then when we
next
get to something where it's like it can get really intense, where we're saying like, you know, the prequels are better than the OGs, and you have to argue it. Right?
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
could
yeah.
be a really
well, and
intense, heated one more so, right? Like the closer we are, but I like that this was something we weren't as close, at least you and me, but we were still able to have fun with it, right? Because that's what I was worried. I was worried it was going to be like what he said, plus times 2. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
right?
that's
like,
why four of us watched all these movies and have 4 different representations of it and why they all work. And it really wasn't supposed to produce a winner. Like I was just trying to find a way to get an easy point.
Totally.
But like
Maybe not a winner, but clearly Jimmy and me.
the Hall of Fame,
Right?
the Hall of Fame shout out.
Hall of Fame right here.
So, ladies, gentlemen, first timers, if you want to know more about the Debaterverse, there is an end credit trailer at the end of all of this that explains how to be involved, how to stay in touch, who to follow, all that jazz. So you can see when Martin's doing comedy, or when Jimmy's doing comedy, or when Charles's new show comes out, or when Ian's film comes out, or when Mark and Rob have a funny thought. You know, all of those things are in there. You can find all of us in this little end credit as well. You know, shameless promotional shit, our merch, our things, and places and stuff that we do. So it'll all be there. Besides that, I've been Charles Foster Kane.
I've been Margaret Foster Kane.
It's got to be in an English accent.
The people you guys are dead.
And Martin?
I've been smoking Bob's hot dogs. If you like wieners, chew on this.
Wow.
Watch all the movies, kids, and Citizen Kane's better. Bye.
Bye-bye. Do you think you could spell zhuzh?
Nope.
Okay.
No. I've tried, and it
I
always
can.
autocorrects.
How do you spell zhuzh?
It's in the feeling. It's not so much in the spelling.
How
Zhuzh
do you
is
spell that?
you
Because
just feel
can't.
it.
Yeah.
You just zhuzh it.
J.
J-U.
Martin, how do you spell zhuzh?
I don't even know what that word means. What is that, juice? Are you guys saying juice? Is that like a snotty way to say juice?
Extra.
What do you want some
The
juice?
sauce? Are you
Zhuzh.
talking about the
Zhuzh.
sauce?
I like
Is
that.
he talking about the
Oh,
sauce?
jus.
Oh,
Zhuzh.
there's no beef dip
OJ.
involved in this, or
Zhuzh.
orange juice for that matter.
OJ.
All right, cool. Let's start this shit. 3, 2, 1.
I was about to yell cut.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, another Real Debaters production is in the can. Thank you so much for listening. If this is your first, second, third, fifth, 20th time, thank you so much. But thank you to the first timers, the ones here who pressed play for the first time and took a gamble on us. If you like what you heard today, the easiest thing to support the show is just to subscribe. Hit the like button, the follow button, whatever's in your podcast player. Make it so that we're always there every Wednesday for you, okay? That would be huge. If you want to stay in touch with us, if you want to follow us, there's a couple ways to do that. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. We're slowly migrating to YouTube by putting all of the things we've ever put on video onto that site. There's some surprises coming this year that happened a while ago, but I felt needed to be shared because they're part of the Debaterverse. So the YouTube page is coming. But if you want to follow us, it's at Real Debaters Pod on Twitter and Instagram. It's the Real Debaters Podcast on TikTok. All of the links, all of the one-click away things are in the show notes that you've just listened to. So if you want to follow us there, that would be great too, because then you get to stay in the know of all the things that we do and what we're going to try to do this year and what we've done in the past, so on and so forth. Yeah, so that's how you stay in touch with us. If you want to contact us, it's therealdebaters@gmail.com. All the spelling for all these things is REEL to keep with the title of the show. So you can send an email to us there, request an episode, want to call out one of us for being a goofball. There's places to do that as well, too. Like the Real Debaters website. You can email us, or you can go straight to the website, rate us in Podchaser. It's realdebaters.ca. And if you really, really liked what you heard and you want to support the show in some fashion that requires you spending money, well, we got a couple ways for you to do that as well, too. You can buy our merch at the Prop Shop. It's a store through Threadless, and it's online, and you can order stuff. We've got tons of stuff. We've got our Mass Debater wear there. It's our signature, original, and only line. It's our logo on everything. So you can support us that way. Go to the merch tab in the show notes. Or if you just got $1 and you're like, hey, I want to give you $1 and donate it to your cause, there is a tab in the show notes as well, too, that says donate to the Debaterverse, I think. And if you click on that, it takes you to a donation page where you can donate like $1, $3, and $5, and you'll get something for your $1, $3, or $5. Any more than that's just ludicrous. Luda. So, yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to tell you. That what I said at the end of the show. This is what you should listen to, because this is all about who we are, and now that we've gotten to where we are, we want to interact with you guys more. So these are the ways to do so. This is the way to stay in touch with us. Thank you to everybody, again, who's listened to the show. Again, you pressed play. You took a chance. That's cool. So without further ado, this is where I said I would talk more, so it's eggs on your face. No, I got nothing else for you. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week, and watch all them fucking movies. Bye-bye.